Okay, it is Street Talk time. What did we think of Coronation Street this week? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm thinking back, just as I was kind of setting up for recording this evening, I was like, what happened on Coronation Street this week? And genuinely, I was like, I don't really know. I don't think it was, a week to stick in the memory. What do you think?
I'm not even really sure what happened on Friday.
We literally just finished watching it.
And I'm sorry, but I don't know I missed something. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I missed, what's going on with Betsy? Why is Betsy in prison?
There were definitely good moments this week, but
what's going on?
Betsy is being
Why did Costello
framed.
put her in? Did Costello frame her? That's what I thought
happened.
Well,
yeah, so that's what we're led to believe, because Betsy's saying, look, what those things, if Costello was the one that brought her in and she's saying, I swear I didn't do what she's saying that I did, then she was clearly set up for it.
But why would he do that? He's such an upstanding man.
He is.
His mum is so disappointed.
No, genuinely, what is the reason for him doing that? I mean, maybe it's obvious.
Did they say anything?
Is it a warning shot across the bows, or?
Well, look. While we're doing this, can you go in the place that you look and find out whether it says something about what?
What place?
You know what I mean?
Look?
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh no, I can't particularly. I mean, I can have a go. Well, do you know? Wait, it won't say. It won't say. Don't worry. It's just the synopsis. It won't say. Costello was saying to Becky in the Ginnell, in one of their many Ginnell lurks this week, that he he was not happy with Betsy posting that picture or the video of her on social media, and I think he just wanted to put the frighteners on her.
You can just arrest people.
Apparently so. If you're a bent copper, they'll let you bring anybody.
Do you know what? They don't tell us any of this stuff at Careers Day at school. I would have gone and done something different. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that happened this week. There was I really enjoyed, and I am 100% invested in everything Theo Todd at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah,
okay.
you know.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah, because it was such a slow start, and Theo was not the most inspiring of characters in the first few months. But he's really ramped up and become something quite enjoyable to watch at the moment.
Isn't it funny?
The power play that he's got on the go with Todd at the moment.
How many men start off really bland and boring, and then they just turn evil, and it makes them exciting?
I'm still waiting for that bit to happen to me. I haven't turned evil yet. I'm still in the bland and boring stage.
You haven't got enough time to be boring. What about Chesney?
Is Chesney gonna? But he didn't start bland and boring, did he? He became it.
What? I mean, there aren't any women like that.
Ches.
There aren't any women that are really, really boring, are there?
I'm sure there are
plenty. The
plenty.
women are so much more interesting. And also, I don't really think that women come in as much as men do in the show. They come in and they stay around. It seems like there's lots of... I guess it's because they come in as villains. You know?
Who do? The men?
Yeah, we don't have any women
actually.
Villains that come in and...
Well, Becky, hello.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, but she needs to do some proper mischief.
She dropped a spoon, Gemma. What more do you want?
That bitch. I'm on the phone, Becky.
That was a great moment in tonight's episode, wasn't it?
You lunatic woman. Stop messing around with cutlery.
I was sitting around watching today's episode going, yeah, things are happening today. I kind of summed it up in the short that we recorded for today's episode. Today's episode was mostly a load of sad women sitting around alone looking miserable. And but that moment where she's there, she's dangling the spoon, I'm like, what's she doing with that? And then she drops it just to try and reveal her presence to Carla and just put a little bit of doubt in her mind. That was great. I've been a big Becky defender / supporter ever since she's come in. I've been saying I've enjoyed watching Becky, and I'm kind of I'm enjoying her manipulations now. I enjoyed her when she came in and she seemed a little bit innocent to me because I'm very naive. But yeah, now seeing some of the things that she's doing, but equally, I could still see her point of view. She left her family behind. She wants her family back. Wouldn't you do anything to get me back?
I would throw a spoon.
Well, exactly.
For sure.
You'd throw a whole cutlery drawer if you thought that it'd give you a chance to retire off to Spain with your lovely Michael. So a lot of what Becky is doing at the moment is very much understandable. Is she tricking Lisa to get back to her? And, a lot of trying to get the girl is about tricking them in some way.
You're still in the 80s. You're still in the 80s.
If you're trying to, I've got my eye on that person.
Are you talking about fictionally, right?
Yeah, of course. I got my eye on that person. I'm gonna, that's the lucky girl I'm going to marry. Says Gaston, and he tries to, okay, maybe that's not the best example.
It's a sad misogynistic trope that is true, because women's perspectives are historically not really, considered in lots of fiction until very recently, but that's not been the case with Coronation Street.
But isn't like a girl dressing up all sexily and flirting her cleavage to try and catch a man that she fancies? Isn't that
tricking?
Well, no.
I'm not even going to talk to you about this, because you're going down a road here for no reason. You can go by yourself.
Okay,
I'll get you on the way back.
All I'm saying is that sometimes if you want to get with somebody,
what you're saying, can I just sum up for you? You're saying all's fair in love and war.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So we don't need to start talking about really specific things.
She just wants her wife back with her and her daughter. That's very understandable. And if she has to be a little bit underhand to get it, then fair enough.
Can I also just say something to the Swallow fans? Some of whom are having a very tough time.
There's been a bit of eruption in the Swallow world this week, hasn't there, on social media?
I completely understand where some people are coming from. They're getting very emotional and upset, and it's triggering, and they don't like it. But I'm just going to say to you,
they don't like having Lisa getting close to Becky while Carla's away.
It means so much more to them than two characters on a soap. And if that's how you view it, I'm just going to say this is not really going to be the discussion for you, because we're not coming at it from that perspective. We are fans of the genre, we're fans of the show, we're fans of characters, but we're not ascribing any deep meaning to any of these things, because we don't have we're not influenced by the same background or histories or emotional attachments that you are, and it's completely fine to have different opinions about it. So I'm just going to say it might upset you, because we're going to be very matter of fact about it. We're just going to talk about how entertaining it is to watch. We're not talking about anything else. There are other podcasts and other people's perspectives that you might find resonate more with you.
I will say that
lovingly, I'm just saying, let's all have rooms for different opinions about this.
I will say, upset. Because I'm not. How do I say this?
Well, you really just
general sense of it. If I need to, don't be horrible about the actors.
No, I don't think a lot of them are.
I know a lot of them aren't, but I've seen some people being horrible about some Coronation Street actors this week.
Oh, and can I also just say, I know I've spoken about her clothing, but and I did mention something about somebody's hair, about the colour of their hair last week, because I think it was a choice for the character to have that colour hair. But beyond that, I think any mention of what people look like, or their hair, or anything like that, maybe we don't do that, because it might be their real
being positive about
hair.
it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Costuming is completely different. That is a choice that they've made aesthetically. The rest of it is, somebody's real appearance. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think, but also, I think sometimes jokes get taken completely out of context, and people are having fun, and it's like a bubble on the internet where it's acceptable to say some things, and the joke is understood in a different way. So, I remember posting right at the beginning, when she came back, that meme from Mean Girls, where there's the burn book, and it's she's a fugly skank or something, and it's that is to be understood in the context of a joke from Mean Girls, not actually talking about the person themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because obviously that nobody's ugly on television. They don't allow it.
Yes. So I'm really, really enjoying the addition of Becky to the show. I'm enjoying the drama it's causing. I'm enjoying going, oh, Lisa, what are you doing? Letting her stay the night. She's having a hug. Is she going to do an evil glare over it? But in many ways, I don't think she's being evil about it. She just wants to get her ex.
No,
not
right,
ex-wife, because she said she's not my
Can we
ex-wife
talk about
today.
this later?
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Okay, fine. So anyway, we're starting off with the Undertaker under the thumb storyline, and then we got the Beck from the dead stuff after that. After that, a lot of the stories were just So we got the tie down storyline with Tyrone and his wheelchair adventures. Forlorn Hope is the best I could come up with today, which is apparently...
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
No, you tell me what it is then.
Something to do with the army?
Is it?
I looked up Forlorn Hope, and apparently it's because I was really desperately scrabbling for a storyline title because I didn't know this was coming in today. It's like a group of guys that in the army that get sent ahead into, I don't know, what does it say?
I remember it from the Donner Party, which was like a group of people they sent off. The Donner Party, in case you didn't know, was a group of pioneers that went completely the wrong way to get to California, and they ended up eating each other.
Oh, I thought it was something to do with kebabs.
No, I know, it sounds like it should be delicious, but it wasn't at all.
That's Chesney and Gemma's anniversary party. Let's have a Donna.
So it's called the Forlorn Hope, is the group of people that end up stranded and like eating boots and children's heads.
Okay, but what is it actually? Forlorn
Hope, that is the name of the group that went...
But it's a military thing as well, isn't it?
Well, you're the one that said earlier.
Oh my gosh! I think this is telling us that if you have to explain a storyline title that much, it's not one of my best ones.
Why do you think? Well, yeah. Again, if a group of people that have had to go and do something, defend something, and like.
Okay, excellent title, Michael.
What was the
Move
name?
on.
Like in the Zulu.
Hmm?
That movie, was it
Zulu?
Not just called Zulu, where they were all there going, oh God, they're just killing us.
There we go. Forlorn Hope's having a bit of a rough time.
I really hope that everyone enjoys that rendition of that classic film from me. Oh no, what are we going to do? Your
dad would be ashamed of you, Gemma.
Me and my granddad and my dad would watch that film together so many times, and that's it summed up.
We've got a bit of the Abby storyline as well. Well, I'll be damned, and then Asha crashes was in just causing misery. And
isn't it funny that I can sum up a movie like that in just very succinctly, but it takes us 2-3 hours to get through a whole week of Coronation Street?
Well, it's just taken us 5 minutes to explain the storyline titles. So I don't know how well they're going to do on the episodes themselves.
I'm not feeling it today.
What would you like to do? Because we've got 2 major stories, haven't we? We've got 2 A stories.
You said you really enjoyed Toddicles, so you can do it if you like.
Toddicles? Was that this week or last week?
He has called him Toddicles before.
Oh, I love the George. I think Eileen leaving him has really been the making of George, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's been kind of tied to her, being the kind of the feckless, useless other half kind of character. And we've seen more of him and Todd, him being supportive boss. We've seen obviously all the great stuff with Christina. I'm feeling positive about the future of George.
Is it not just a really great argument against this idea that Coronation Street has got in their heads that you have to be in a couple to have a story?
Yeah. Anyway, so
on to the couple story.
On to the couple storyline, Theo and Todd. When Todd and Theo kind of start in the week in not the best of places, it's because Todd's got his results coming on Monday, isn't it? From his emergency, no prep needed colonoscopy that he had last week.
Oh, we forgot to tell you that you can't do it like that, so you're going to have to come and do it again.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Todd's decided that he needs to plan his own funeral, and I think that really sets the maudlin tone for the week that we got this week on Coronation Street. He's saying, you never know when death will strike you, and I don't think he gets too far into the idea, does he? But it kicks things off at least.
I like the way he says he's going to do it, and then he doesn't do it. This is what everybody does.
Well, it was funny because just recently on Classic Corrie on ITV3 we've had Blanche preparing her own, sort of planning and living her own wake because she wanted everybody to celebrate her and say good things about her while she was still alive.
I don't want people to be happy when I'm dead. I want them all to cry.
Yeah.
I want 100 people at least. I want everyone to wear black and nobody's allowed to smile.
Todd asking George about Christina later and his seeming obsession with domineering women. Well, you come to the right place if that's your preference. George says that she could be quite sweet, actually, which she can. I agree.
Like me.
Amy Robbins this week reported in the press. We talked about it many a time in the past week on the podcast, but the press reported, and they can always be 100% be trusted, has apparently been given a full-time contract on Coronation Street. So our dreams will come true, and she will be sticking around for a bit longer, should this source be believed.
I reckon it was us.
I think it was.
I do honestly, because I know that some people do listen to this because they steal some things sometimes from us. That's all right. They can do what they want. I'm talking about very specific people who take interviews, but that's okay. So we know some people do listen, and I wonder if somebody listened and heard us say that she told somebody, and then they just phoned up and said, "Is this true?"
I don't know.
That's my
only
theory.
Imagine. Maybe I'll get to interview her one day and I can ask her that very
The thing is, we are too long to be like anyone's news source, aren't we? Nobody cares. Nobody's really listening to this.
No.
They're probably just scrolling through the transcript.
Yeah. Right, so George is convinced by Christina to have a look through Todd's emails to find out if there's anything wrong with him because of his, somewhat dour expression that he's got on his face all morning. And they go onto Todd's emails, as you do, and they find a hospital appointment message. He's getting results for tests.
This was so intrusive and it never went anywhere. If this was Theo doing this, this is Theo going onto his emails and finding out he's got a hospital appointment and going in there and sitting in with him.
Todd was pleased with the company.
I know, but like, what's the moral of this story?
So George finds Todd in the hospital and he has a nice sit with him, and this is when he calls him Toddicles, isn't it? And he says, "I do love you, Toddicles." Aww. That was quite cute. How many years was he Todd's kind of semi-stepfather? 3? 4 or so?
It doesn't count in Coronation Street.
It's funny because we saw so little of that family when they were together. We've seen a heck of a lot more of George being Todd's boss than we has his stepfather. And I know he's grown up, he's our age, isn't he? Having a stepfather when you're in your 40s isn't quite the same thing, but it's quite, it's really sweet.
I need to just say it's by mutual consent whether you're somebody's step-parent when they're an adult.
Yeah.
I think definitely...
Well, it was just nice for Todd to get that reassurance from him that you're not just my crony at work. I actually think quite a lot of you, and because
it's really nice. I think that's nice.
Yeah, I'd have him as my stepfather.
Me too.
Todd tells George about this blood in his poo that he's found, and
I thought he said this before, but
what?
Obviously he didn't.
No, apparently not. George says it's probably just piles.
Did he tell somebody else? He did.
Yeah, he did. He's always going on about his bloody poos.
I've had another bloody poo.
Yeah. But so characters don't go to the toilet, so that doesn't make sense.
How did you find out?
Anyway, he gets his results and he gets a hand squeeze from George as he goes in. Meanwhile, you got Theo seeing Billy in Summer and saying, "What's going on with Todd? He seems a bit off recently. Have you noticed anything?" Billy obviously knows about what's going on with Todd exactly, but he's keeping stum about it because he promised Todd that he would. He gets a phone call from Todd later, really bad reception, and he can't hear the news, so he heads outside. Theo checks with Summer what's up, and she very innocently confirms it was just Todd calling. That's what's the problem with that. And so, yeah, I've said before that Todd has been a bit silly hanging around Billy quite so much as he is.
I'm really interested.
I know Theo's being controlling, but...
To imagine what it would have been like if Paul had still been alive when this was all going on. How jealous and mad would Theo have got about Paul getting everyone's attention?
Why would he... What? Why?
When he was dying...
How jealous would Theo be?
Yeah, of Todd, like going, oh,
Oh yeah, probably. Anyway, it's fine. It was a massive polyp, says Todd.
Well, it's a good job they got rid of it.
So it's gone. It's been exercised, all sorted, and Billy decides to invite Todd back to his flat to celebrate.
Hang on a minute.
What?
If it was a massive polyp, they would have taken it out at the time, wouldn't they?
Well, I don't
Unless they just did it again, like, oh yeah, we've got this new procedure now. We just stick a coat hanger up and see what we can pull out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, normally,
let's not question
when you have a procedure, they hook it out at the time. I guess he knew that he had something in there that they took out, and then they tested it and went, oh, it's just a polyp.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That'll do for an explanation. I don't want to think too much about inside Todd's cavities any more than that.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they went far enough to be confusing, but like further than anyone wanted them to, right? But not far enough to like explain anything.
It doesn't matter because basically the whole deal with this was to get Theo feeling a bit confused about why Todd's being very evasive about his questions, and then also giving Todd and Billy an excuse to get bladdered in the flat that night. Speaking of which, you got Theo and Gary also getting somewhat sozzled with this guy that they want to do a business deal with. Did he have a name? He probably had a name. I don't remember what his name is, but that's all going well. But Todd's declaring to Billy in his flat that he's going to turn over a new leaf with his health. So maybe James is going to be getting a new Did Todd do a PT session with James? He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Because Theo wasn't happy with that, was he? And then Billy starts to get on maudlin because he's missing Paul and, isn't...
Drinking.
Yeah, who knows when death could strike. So, yeah, get lots of booze down them. Billy's continuing to pine after his lost love and... but he says, look, you've made it really bearable for me. It was really, I had such a hard time, but thanks for being there, Todd. And so they're just getting a bit closer. Too close for Theo's comfort anyway, when he finds out later. Todd gets a phone call from Theo, doesn't he, at that point, I think, and Theo's telling him, hey, I've sealed a deal with Gazaroo. That's Gary. And Todd's lying to him and saying he's still at work, and he tells Billy, I can't deal with Theo when he's plastered. So...
That's really worrying.
Why?
Well, because he's like, why? Why not?
Billy's...
Because he's unpredictable and violent.
But yeah, exactly. Billy is already, a little bit wary of Theo, and also, that little offhand comment may be added to that.
Billy's just seen Todd lie about where he was in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all going a bit funny.
So anyway, they get their bucket hats on and have a massive 90s rave in the flat there. Theo's at the Undertaker's, finding out that Todd's with Billy, and he's like, oh, what are they celebrating? Because he's still in the dark. Do you think that, at this stage, do you feel it's a bit bad for Theo that Todd's not told him?
He's sort of made his own bed here because Todd is too scared to tell him, and I can't remember why he says he didn't tell him, but why he didn't tell him and what he says about why he didn't tell him are going to be two different things.
Nobody on soaps ever seems to tell their nearest and dearest when they've got a medical problem, do they? They want to keep it a secret, and they find a confidant, and it's a little bit, getting a little bit of a cliche kind of tropey sort of territory, isn't it? But I don't know. They have a lovely party. Todd's kind of getting a bit woozy later and says it's time to go home. So he staggers out of Billy's flat. Theo spots him. He's hanging around. He's loitering, isn't he? He's doing a bit of a Costello lurk around by streetcars. And he sees Todd coming out and then deciding that maybe I should stay the night here because I don't want to go back in this state to Theo. And then at the very end of the episode, this bloke from earlier that they were doing the business deal with comes looking for a cab and invites Theo off to Canal Street. What's going on there? So Wednesday, I think this was my favourite of the week for this story. This was super shocking, actually. What were you going to say?
Go on.
No, go on. I'm going to drink my tea. You talk.
No. On Wednesday, a very hungover Todd and Billy.
Don't misread my notes. So they're stumbling out of the flat, and Billy says, "Look, do you want me to tell Theo that nothing happened between us last night?" And Todd says, "No, it's fine." Do you think that Todd should have gone home?
Todd should have gone home?
Yes.
When?
Monday night, rather than staying at Billy's. Isn't he just adding more potential fuel to the fire? Because we've seen him get nervous about Theo, and he's just given him an excuse. Don't you think?
This is really difficult to talk about because it borders on blaming somebody. We've said enough about it already.
Okay. Well, I mean, Theo's definitely the one that's in the wrong later, because when Todd gets home, all kind of apologetic about staying out all night. Massive shock. Because I'd forgotten how Monday's episode ended, had you? Theo going off to Canal Street with this bloke. So when he pops out of the bedroom in, was he wearing a dressing gown? Was he doing the old I'm going to wear your dressing gown trick? That caught me right off guard. I can't believe that Theo actually did that. What did you think?
Why do you keep asking me what I thought? Normally you don't let me get a word in edgeways.
No, I'm just letting you have a chance.
What did I think about what?
Theo having it off with business bloke.
He's horrible.
We know that he's...
I don't know what on earth I could say that's interesting about this.
We know that he's cheated in the past. He's cheated on Danielle.
He's cheated on Owen.
But I think that the fact that he did it so brazenly in front of Todd, even for Theo, that felt like a bit of a bold move.
He's punishing him. He's doing it to put Todd in his place and tell him what the limits are and what will happen if he comes out of line.
It was a massive risk though, wasn't it? Because he nearly did get thrown out of the flat on Wednesday's episode, and at the end of it, Todd's like, "Oh, go on then, I'll have you back one more time." But it could have gone very badly, and it could have been the end for them. And then where would Theo have been?
Theo's very confident that his manipulation tactics work.
Yeah.
Because the thing is about people like this is that they're not interested in being with somebody who it doesn't work on.
Yeah, I suppose so. If Todd had said,
I'll never see you again, he would have just found his next victim.
Yeah. Because he knows that he's doing it. He didn't like hearing it from that bloke in Canal Street the other week. I
don't know if they always do know. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating.
Yeah. But I
don't think they know. I don't think they know the tactics. I think they feel like they really do feel they do feel the emotions they feel. Abusers we're talking about. I really, really would love to jump inside someone's head. Because they all have the same playbook, don't they? It's bizarre.
Yeah. But but equally, this is feeling different enough to the Yasmin and Jeff story. We did have, I suppose, Jeff went off to the sex workers, didn't he? And I can't remember whether he was kind of crowing to Yasmin that he did it, and I can't remember whenabouts in the story that happened, whether it was pre or post glass bottle to the neck. I think it was maybe after that. But
we know that some people have been through this, and we know that there are people that are going through this who are listening to this. And I said this before when we did the Yasmin story, but it's worth mentioning again. There is a book. If you're on the fence about it and you're not sure, read this book. It's called Why Does He Do That? It's by Lundy Bancroft. If you're worried about the person you're with knowing you've read it, there is a PDF that you can find online that you could read privately. But also think about why you need to hide the book from the person and whether that is in itself a bit of a red flag. So read that book. It is really worth reading about abusive men.
Todd's really interesting, all this behaviour, because he knows, doesn't he? He knows what Theo is like, and he knows that something isn't quite right, but he just can't quite bring himself to cut the cord completely. Yeah.
And I'm just going to say also, this book is about abusive men specifically, and it is about heterosexual relationships. I'm not aware that there's a book that is as good as this for people who are in situations like Todd and Theo, or even people who are victims of abusive women. If I ever find out a book that's like that, somebody can tell me what it is, I will bring it up when it's... Because I understand it's not just always men.
Didn't Kate Brooks in her interview last week talk about the fact that she thinks this is maybe a first time in a soap that this kind of controlling relationship has been portrayed in a homosexual relationship?
I recall that perhaps she may have said that, but without actually...
It's ringing bells for both of us.
We didn't... we didn't film it or anything, so I don't know.
No. Anyway, so Todd kind of is just dazed by this and goes stumbling along Coronation Street, where he bumps into Glenda, who's organising this Mr and Mrs evening, and she gives him a bit of talk about, oh yeah, well, I know that we got the new owners coming soon, but so why am I even doing this? But I'm the type of gal to give it 100%, otherwise what's the point? And if something's worth it, you don't give it up, do you? So this is obviously like, oh, Todd, don't give up someone who's worth it. How worth it is, Theo. Yeah, it's a little bit on the nose there.
If somebody has great hair, you don't just dump them because they're a psycho, do you?
Exactly. Is what
Todd. He heard.
But
he's like, yeah, he does have really good arms.
I wonder if that, before that little unwitting speech from Glenda, whether Todd had decided that he would dump Theo, because that would be surely the natural reaction for most people, but not everyone, because if infidelity isn't necessarily the end for everyone, is it?
I'm pretty sure again that Kate Brooks said that this is like one of Todd's only ever long-term relationships that's gone well.
Yeah. So
he doesn't want to give up on it. He hasn't had a lot of... It's not like, some people on Corrie are always with somebody. Who's your husband, who's your wife, whatever. It's not like Todd's had a long string of partners.
No, but I also do think that Todd has... He he's been unfaithful in the past.
No, but
he's
what I'm
tempted
saying...
other people to be unfaithful in the past.
He has.
So
been a little...
that's why I kind of understood how he might still take Theo back in the end, because to him, infidelity is not, that's something that sometimes happens in a relationship. It's no,
will not cross.
But it still knocked him completely for six, because he has obviously fallen for this Theo really, really hard.
It's the way that he does it as like a punishment.
Yeah.
It's gross.
So Todd goes back to the flat, and fair play to him again. He's not letting Theo off the hook completely easily. He's like, I need answers from you. You cheated on me in my face. And Theo's like, well, at least I'm being honest about it. Where were you last night? And Todd's like, I swear I slept on Billy's sofa. Yes, I have been sneaking around with Billy a lot recently, but I got a good reason. And this is when it all comes out about the hospital appointments. And Theo is kind of caught on the back foot with this, because he had no idea that this is going on. But he still doesn't like how Billy was the one who held his hand through it. He manages to turn it back onto Todd. And
it's interesting, isn't it?
It is, but again, I kind of was almost seeing Theo's point here. Like, I've told you, I'm not comfortable with you hanging around your ex, and now you're opening up to him about these medical issues you're going through, but you're not telling me. I should be
the person that you come to for comfort and solace,
and
support. Why did you go to somebody I specifically said I didn't want you to hang around with, who's your ex?
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, so he very cleverly manages to turn this into, well, it's no wonder I slept with someone else if you're going around with Billy and telling him all your medical secrets. And Todd, fair play to him again, fires back at him saying, I am done with you. I can't believe that you're turning this back on me. Pack your bags, you're out of here.
Yeah, I love this.
Go, Todd.
I think everybody was like, go on, Todd.
We were, but we all knew that this wasn't the end. I want
to know the people around the word who were like, oh, good, I'm glad that story's over. I bet they, by the end of the week, not happy.
Todd's behaviour for the rest of the episode was great. I loved how he went then to this Mr and Mrs evening at the Rovers and used it as an opportunity to rub Billy in Theo's face. How did you find Mr and Mrs? It feels like it's once every 5 years or so they might do one in the Rovers.
It's like a cicada hatching, isn't it? It's cyclical and it only happens every few years. I love Mr and Mrs competitions, even though they are heteronormative. Billy and Todd didn't take offence to it.
You say that, but it feels like quite often in Coronation Street when they have one.
I'm
sure Roy and Hayley won once.
Hang on, that's different.
No. But I think it was towards the beginning when there was a bit more questioning with their relationship from the other characters.
Well, were they
on
married?
The street. Yeah, when I think you had Les saying, "I can't believe those two together."
Well, it's traditional that
the underdogs win.
The gay couples will triumph because their love is pure.
Or the couples that just people don't think much of. I can't even remember. I can't remember when there's been a Mr and Mrs in the Rovers where a solid long-term couple has ever actually won. Traditional couple.
I mean, this time Alia and Adam won because they're the best couple on the street.
Did they win in the end? I couldn't remember.
I think we all fell asleep.
Alia and Adam turning up.
I wanted to actually properly watch these two boring people do a Mr and Mrs competition. If you were to tailor questions to them specifically, what on earth would you even ask them?
Exactly. It's like your Ronnie Bailey quiz on the podcast last night.
What's your favourite...
Scotland is the answer to everything.
What's your favourite country in the Union? What's your favourite subject to study at university?
Which part of the UK has got the best flag?
What kind of flower is a good flower to put on your stained glass window?
Honestly, Adam is
at your wedding. I'm just talking about Alia. What's her personality?
It's really sad. It's really sad that these two...
And she's only just done that. She didn't even have one before that.
I refuse to believe that there's any character that doesn't have kind of potential to be an interesting character. But seriously, they've just not given the time to make Adam or Alia anything but the most bland, dull coupling that has been on Coronation Street for a very long time.
I know that we all like socks, right, as presents, because we're adults. But as long as you've got feet. But Alia and Adam seem like the sort of people that would still buy each other socks because they literally don't have any imagination for any. And it wouldn't even be fun socks. They'd just be like, here's, Adam, here's your pack of 7 black identical socks that are the same as I got you last year. Oh, thank you, Alia. Here's a pair of 7 pairs of identical trainer socks for you to hide your socks in your beautiful trainers when you're at work.
We've just not seen anything of them as a couple. And how long have they been together?
Alia,
now?
I've bought you a new camel-coloured coat.
So, Alia and Adam, can you tell us how and why you got together? Well, Sarah Khan was going off on maternity leave, and we thought that it would be a good cliffhanger if she decided that she maybe fancied Adam for no particular reason, and he gave her a massive book before she left. Like, what on earth? What on earth?
Law brought them together.
We had Sally and Tim having their thing together. See, they should have won. It was just there was an opportunity to make Tim look useless again, wasn't it? Because he thought that Sally had size 10 feet, or was it? He thought she was 8?
Yes.
I can't remember.
It was 8.
Yeah. Well,
it's just another example of like I know that people don't find it stereotypical and annoying that men are always the buffoons and they don't know the answers to things. But why is it also funny though? It's like, again, you don't know his mum's name. You don't know her mum's name.
Oh, I love that line. And I was also very impressed with myself because before they answered on the TV, I paused it and I was like, right, what's Sally's mum's name? And I did get it. Did any of you get it, listeners? Any of you knew that it was Elsie? But I love it when...
I knew it was Elsie.
I loved it when Tim was like, well, it's not my fault. I haven't even met her. And Sally's like, I'm so sorry that my mum died.
I know.
And we all know Tim's mum's name. It's lovely Elaine, same as my mum's name.
Yeah.
But then we had. What did?
But do you know what I mean? He gets away with it. It's just funny and charming. It's not funny and charming. He's an idiot. I thought
it was funny and charming. Would you have squared him with a water bottle, Gemma?
I would have hit him with it.
Well, did you enjoy the water bottle angle? I thought it made it slightly different.
Yeah,
Glenda's so good.
You get to shoot them with a water pistol, or they take a shot or something. If they get it wrong.
And Gemma had filled her water bottle with vodka, had she, so that she was being shot on purpose? I don't know. It was quite fun. I mean, some Rovers theme nights have felt bigger, but
it was fun. It must have been fun to write for.
Yeah,
and also it was fun to watch because nobody challenged any stereotype. Everybody did exactly what you kind of wanted them to do, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure. And it was all kind of wrapped around the idea that Todd was using it to get back at Theo.
He came in and just looked like a sad little boy.
He was just like a little puppy, wasn't he? James Cartwright, he's so good. He can be very creepy and manipulative and just so intimidating, can't he? But then when he was watching Billy and Todd getting all their questions right about each other, he was just like adrift and alone, and you almost felt sorry for him. But and then you had Todd kind of looking ever so smug at him as Theo leaves. But Billy was a bit of a killjoy there, wasn't he? He was like, I can't believe you used me to get back at Theo.
I would be upset.
Yeah,
because he's just kind of belittled their history together and used it as a cheap shot
a ploy.
Else, yeah.
But that is very Todd, and I think it's a side of Todd that we don't see enough of these days. I think he's mellowed out just a little bit too much in his midlife, and going back to seeing more of him doing that was great.
Yeah,
fun.
I did like that.
Yeah.
You written down one of the questions. I don't think we got any more than this. Adam and Alia.
What was your big advice, Alia? And both her and Adam wrote down too competitive.
It's like they thought it was a job interview.
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist. I always turn up early for work.
I think they should have just both held the whiteboard up and it said too boring.
I want to know some proper
Poor
dirt.
Alia.
Wouldn't it be funny if they'd written down farts all night or something, or like picks their nose and wipes it on the wallpaper?
They couldn't have had the fart one because you're only allowed one fart on Coronation Street per week, and that was David in a lift this week.
Oh yeah, but you didn't get to hear that.
That's just about it. That was a great line when he was talking to Shona. He says, someone's farting in this lift, and she said, you're in there on your own, David.
I know, he's classic.
Anyway, Todd gets home and finds Theo packing his bags, and he's saying, I'm really sorry for messing up. I hate myself for what I've done, Todd. Just the thought of you and Billy's really wrecked me head. The lies. And he goes to walk out, and just like everybody knew it, Todd's like,
get under his skin.
Don't go. Because Billy's now sort of done his work on Todd and made him feel guilty for what he's been doing. And I was like, no, Todd, don't do it. But equally, I was saying, yes, Todd, invite him back, because I'm just loving these. It's really cruel of me, but I'm loving these scenes.
It's really hard.
In that flat of Theo being an utter arse to him. Because he's doing such a great job of portraying that nasty, nasty character, and I don't want it to end yet. So yeah, keep him there.
It's difficult because these are based on things that have happened to real people, and you don't want to ever be dismissive and flippant.
No, of course.
But this is also entertainment, and it's done in an entertaining way. There's nothing wrong with saying that you find them compelling scenes.
Exactly. This is clearly an issue storyline. So are many of the other storylines that we're watching this week. But
what if you were dating someone terminally boring?
But this compared to Asha, it's night and day.
It's a lot more engaging.
Asha's just... I'm really sorry. No disrespect to anyone, the actors involved, because I love the Alahans. It's just her kind of... A lot of her being miserable on the sofa. And Dev...
Wow.
It is though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but I'm like... In this... Yeah, there's not really any fun place for our Asha's storyline to go.
No, and like you said, this isn't fun. It just feels a lot more... Yeah, I'm more on the edge of my seat with this. I'm more going, oh, I think it's because you got the villain in there. And in the Asha storyline, you got Naomi as the villain who's not really in it.
It's because we know we're watching a soap and we know that justice will prevail.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm not watching it like, oh no, this is terrible. What, I know Todd's going to get out of it and Theo's going to be dead or in prison or shamed.
Yeah.
That's what I think's going to happen.
Well, this is the same.
If it doesn't happen, I'll be disappointed.
This is the same with the Becky story. I'm not watching this thinking, oh, I'm worried that Lisa's going to go off with Becky and stay with her and kick Carla to the curb. Clearly, I think the outcome is going to be that Becky is out of this place by 6 months' time, and Lisa and Carla come out stronger. It just is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It just is. So yeah, I'm enjoying this story immensely as it's unfolding, and just seeing him be an utter git to Todd, because I know that in the end Todd's going to triumph.
What happens next?
What is going to happen next? So yeah, Todd's sitting with Theo and saying, look, I just was really shocked when I walked in and found your latest floozy in there. And Theo says, look, I'm really sorry. I just wanted to hurt like you were hurting.
No, I wanted to hurt you.
I wanted you to hurt like I was hurting.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, Todd's like, oh yeah, sorry, I did the same thing to you.
Yeah, what I did in the pub was me wanting you to hurt, so we're just as bad as each other, really, aren't we?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But anyway, I'll take you back, says Todd, but you got to promise not to be unfaithful again, all right? And Theo does, and they do a little probably pinky swear or fresh start, #, no more secrets, wasn't it? So then you get that scene at the end of the episode where Billy comes to see Todd, and
this could have been an email.
Todd won't let him in. It could have been a text, but Todd's saying, I think it's better for everyone if we kept our distance for a while. And Theo's listening in, and every time you got Theo there, it's like, what's the expression on his face going to be? And he does a little smirk, doesn't he? Because he knows this is the ventriloquist Theo that we saw in the picture, the September. You know the one I mean?
Yeah.
The Todd and Theo picture that I said looked like a ventriloquist. Todd is saying what Theo has been dripping into him, and now he can't be friends with Billy anymore. And I hope that he does stick with that for the time being.
Well, because otherwise it just becomes a very repetitive story.
Yeah, exactly. If he just goes back to Billy again and says, sorry, Theo, back to Billy, sorry, Theo, I think now is the stage in the story where he needs to cut Billy out of his life, and then Billy now starts to feel more worried about him and does whatever he needs to do there.
Like abusers do, to cut you off from your support network.
Yeah. We didn't have very much of the story in today's episode, did we? Todd gets a new car bought for him by Theo, because obviously very important for Todd to have a car, all the places that he needs to go.
Yeah.
Where? The crematorium, maybe?
Well, I can't imagine him needing to turn up to a service in that car.
No, but anyway, his
car
breaks down. Theo buys him a new one, which is a little bit of love bombing, isn't it?
Yeah.
To make Todd incredibly indebted to him.
It was a what car? It was a beige car.
Was it grey? I thought.
I don't know what kind of car
nice
it was.
Big,
I'm afraid.
Chunky one.
But they're all too big now. Why do you need a big car like that? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know
Just
what.
Just get a normal sized car.
I tell you what, I don't know whether Maria would be too happy with that. The effects on the environment, would she? She's going to have something to say. Where do you park more like on Coronation Street? But
do you reckon it was sponsored?
Oh yeah,
I think it's a bit of an ad placement, that car.
If I was a car manufacturer, would I want my car to be bought by a domestic abuser?
Well, they didn't say not in the contract. I don't know, but it just looked like too much of a. Look at my new car.
Well, Todd says this is too much. You can't just buy me a car. Todd's just imagine being in his head at the moment, because one day he finds out that my partner slept with me. The next slept with someone else. What happened there? Slept with someone else. The next he's buying you a car. Is it an apology buy? Is it trying to butter you up, or is he just like feeling? Is he just nice? Really feeling guilty about it, or is he just being nice? It's like you're being thrown back and forth, and there's going to be nothing left of the poor chap. But that's what Theo wants, isn't it? He wants him right round his finger where he's got him. So, this is continuing to entertain me, I'm going to say. But also inform me and educate me, because I'm not just there loving it. I'm going, I'm learning a lesson, Coronation Street. Right. That's what you want, isn't it? Back from the dead, Gemma. So, what's been going on, Shay Swain? Right.
So, Monday, and I noticed that Becky's not asked for her money. Which I think is weird.
What money?
Well, the money that was Betsy's inheritance from her mum. That Carla used to buy a kidney.
Oh, she's got bigger fish to fry at the moment. She doesn't want anything other than her family back.
I know, but
everything
money
else
would be
will
nice.
come later.
So, on Monday, Carla tells Lisa that a bloke called Ben has bought the Rovers. So, we've got movement there on who is going to be in charge of the Rovers. So, Ben. Write that down. We also learned that Carla is going to go to Ireland. I thought it was an auntie's funeral, but it's going to mark the 1 year anniversary of her father's death, or the 2 years, or how many, whatever.
Johnny? How long ago do you think he
4,
died?
10, 8?
4 years ago.
4?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you kidding me? It can't be 4, is it?
I think it was 21 that Coronation Street happened, yeah.
Wow, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It was a bit... How long's Carla supposed to be away for? It seems like it's a good few weeks. I mean, does she do this
the Irish are very good at mourning, aren't they? That's what they're excellent at that. So, she's worried about leaving Lisa there with Becky, and Lisa's like, "Don't worry, I would not leave. Why? Honestly, he's dead. He's not going to get deader, is he? Why are you going to Ireland? He wasn't even there. He died here."
Should she have done a pilgrimage to Weatherfield sewers?
She should have climbed down inside and had to look around, or at least peered into one of the storm drain holes or something.
I think.
What's she playing at? I wouldn't. No way.
At this period in time, I think it was an unwise decision for Carla to have continued that particular family tradition.
Has she did this for every year? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Although maybe it's a case of she's sick to the back teeth of Becky and wants to get away from her, and I would have said,
Lisa, you're coming with me. You're coming with me. I don't care. Come with me. Mind you, that would have left Becky with Betsy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone. Anyway, Lisa's like, "Don't worry. My heart is with you and my future is with you." And Carla obviously has to pack downstairs, which is also where Betsy ends up doing her schoolwork.
Oh yeah, you put a tweet out about that again, didn't you?
Well, somebody else mentioned it, but every character does this. You said this before.
Yes.
But also, like I said, Betsy does her schoolwork on the sofa, because where else? Not on the nice big kitchen peninsula.
Do you think that the Swatter fans were kind of disappointed with this, because it means that they haven't got a Carla and Lisa bedroom
I have seen
set?
Comments on this, yes.
Have you?
Yes, of course.
No, they're just going to be going up those stairs.
I want to see this what's happening fabled bath. Although they haven't mentioned baths since they've moved. Maybe they've only got a shower.
Maybe. I mean,
tragedy.
Which we saw. Who was the bath? It was Paul and Billy had the bath scene a few years ago. Yeah. That's your
maybe
one for the decade. Maybe they could use
that set. Can you imagine Carla and Lisa with a bathroom like that?
No.
Right. So Lisa packs and Carla packs. Lisa's like, "Oh, here's a practical cagoule," and she's like, "This is rubbish."
Lovely colour, Conversation Street orange.
Becky knocks on the door, and then she finds out that Carla's off to Ireland. She's like, "Oh, we went to Ireland once, didn't we? It was really romantic." And Carla's like, "This bitch, shut up. So she goes to the cafe and asks Roy to spy on Becky and Lisa while she's not there. He's done nothing.
No, he hasn't, has he? And that was a bit... Roy's not.
This is
Roy's
not the
really
person
one
to ask.
No,
you could ask literally anybody else on that show.
So just pretend she's a bat, job. Roy.
Yeah, there's a rare bat living in my house, Roy. Could you keep an eye on it, please?
She's a bit
worried
batty,
that
isn't she?
Becky might kill it because she hates animals. He'd be on it then.
He would.
You've got to learn how to motivate people. This is why she's not a very good manager.
I thought that was poor Roy. He's already had to lie as part of this massive cover-up, and now he's being asked to be a spy. Just leave him alone. Let him cook his bacon and sausages in peace. He just wants to make
really cheap curry and rice.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, Betsy's like just trashed the place.
This is another reason why Wednesdays was by far the best this week. And Wednesday we got to see the fashion show, didn't we? Because apparently Betsy is a fashion designer now. Did we know that? I can't remember.
I'm not surprised. I'm sure I knew this already, but maybe I didn't.
She's got these... What are they called? Are they a
mood board? I just want Nina to come up to her and go, don't bother.
Yeah.
Just don't bother with any dreams.
I did this once for a few months, and then the writers forgot about it, so don't get your hopes up, love.
Yeah, so she's got all these mood boards because she's supposed to be recycling or something.
She's her theme for her college project is community?
Renewables or something.
Yeah.
So she's gone around, spied on everybody. For some reason, she's got 2 mood boards of David Platt.
Wow.
And she's got Tyrone, she's got Roy. Yeah. And she seems to be turning these male outfits into female outfits.
Yes, she's taking bits of their iconic costumes from their publicity photos.
This bordered on meta for me a little bit here because
I know
these characters have looks because they're characters. I don't think most normal working class people don't have a fashion, especially men. Could you really distinguish an average bloke from another bloke? Really?
Well, she would be upcycling Nintendo t-shirts for me. Literally,
I'm sorry, guys, but most straight guys, it will be down to what the logo on their t-shirt is.
I think that she should have gone for Sean. Think of all the fabulousness she could have made with a peacock feathers
where do you go from
out
there,
and pink stripes all running down everywhere.
It's already been done. There's no room to grow.
That's true. Sean's fashion is the peak of perfection.
It is. You can't get better than that. So she's sewing everything up. She's got this mood board with Roy on it, and she's got this apron, and she's made a horrible outfit. And Lisa and Becky have to tell her it's great because they're her mums.
It was absolutely hideous.
Look. I don't know where it came from.
Sorry, it was.
Hang on, I don't know where it came from. I don't know who made this. I don't know who made this.
Was it supposed to look like a really bad project
I'm not
from
saying
someone
anything.
who's got no eye for fashion, but they're studying it?
I'm not going to be rude because I don't know who made this.
It doesn't matter. But although I suppose...
You don't know. It could have been the local, some really proud person who won a competition to design an outfit for Coronation Street. You don't know.
I suppose when
I
you
don't know how they won with that outfit though.
When you do see these high class fashion shows on the telly, some of the designs that they wear are somewhat questionable and not at all practical, aren't they? But it was like strips of apron just draping down the front, and
it's more a concept.
It didn't even look good. It just looked tatty.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, you're right. Lisa and Becky are having to go, hey, it's amazing.
If I was Betsy, I'd be like, right, this was all a trick to see if you just praise everything I do, and this is my real outfit.
I feel bad for Carla.
You're patronising me now.
I feel bad for Carla now when Lisa tries to strong arm her into getting a decent position in the design department of the factory.
It's a good job she wasn't here.
It is a good job, yeah.
She'd be like, you're fired.
Although if
not only are you not going to get a good mark for this, but
if she follows Betsy on Send PX, then she's probably seen this, just like old Lurky Costello, hasn't she?
She's showing it to Ryan going, look at this, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not there.
So the drama here, I suppose, was Betsy is asking Lisa to model it first, isn't she? And Lisa's like, no.
But then Becky turns up. Becky turns up, she's like, hi guys, I'm bored.
It's me, the fun mum.
Before she was going, I've got to come around because of this or that. But now, Carla's not there. She's suddenly started saying, I'm bored. Can I come round? And so Lisa just lets her in, and she's like, Becky's got this outfit on, and she's like walking up and down.
I love
sashaying around, going yeah, fashion or whatever she says.
Fashion.
Ooh, I like what you're wearing. And then she goes to Lisa. Oh, let's do a catwalk off. And then
Lisa is she's really narked, isn't she? Because she said no, and now Becky's come in saying I'm the fun mum.
So she's like, okay, I can be fun. I can have fun.
But she did. And I think genuinely that's some of the most fun that we've seen Lisa. We've seen her being very
Carla,
serious and uptight. And we've seen her having, fun as in let's have a fun cuddle on the sofa kind of way. But this was I'm having a great time sort of fun. Just letting her hair down and doing kind of hands on the hips and doing that wink to Betsy,
who's filming on her phone.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that scene
for social medias.
Yes.
So later on, they've made pizza that looks hideous.
It was one of these.
It's like a hockey puck with cheese on it.
It was 98% crust. This pizza, wasn't it? And by crust we just mean soft.
What are they paying this woman that she's brought this home for her child?
Yeah, it was no. It's really
Pizza sad. It's
Express, was it?
It's like when you see like birds making nests out of rubbish.
And it was just margarita as well. It's like school dinner pizza, wasn't it? You can't even
make a decision about what you want on it. God, what's happened to you? So anyway, she's not happy about this.
There was a moment.
Oh, I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, there was a moment when Becky's kind of going, I've got pizza
Let me look at your stuff, and she's like, don't touch it with your pizza hands.
Yeah, but Lisa kind of gives her a bit of a warning of no, you don't fondle me, thank you very much. You're getting too.
Then Betsy's like, look, I put it on my social media, and Becky's like, oh my god, take it down. Don't you remember? I'm on the run, even though I'm always seen in public, walking around with no disguise on. I went to a supermarket and bought a washing machine. I've rented a flat. I live here, basically.
But don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody, because if it goes on the internet, Costello might see it.
Yeah, all these faceless thugs that are apparently out for blood.
All these Manchester criminals and underworld and gangsters who sit around on Send PX all day, like scrolling to see what the goss is. Like Costello, who's supposed to be at work, and this made me laugh so much, because the implication here is that he's obviously following Betsy, and he goes on it all the time to see what she's doing. And he genuinely follows her because he thinks she's that stupid, and she is.
Do you think he's got his notification switched on? It's like, Betsy Swain has posted a picture. What is it this time?
Like every so often he's like, nice avocado on toast. I could go for that. Or like, God, what's she cooked her now? That's horrible. But today he's like, oh my God, in the background there is a woman who should be dead.
Well, he's faked her death, and he knows that she's supposed to be keeping her head below the parapet. Is that the phrase? So yes. He's there looking very lurky and not very impressed. But
the whole thing is utterly ridiculous that he immediately found this post, and he's there like, oh, you know what? I'm so bored at work. I'm just going to take a quick Insta break. La, la, la. And he's going through like reels like, oh, I love this woman. She used to be on Corrie. She's funny. She's so funny. And I always watch. What is this?
That
fashion?
Farrell Hegarty there.
Yeah, and I also like the implication that he was lured in by the fashion to begin with, and he's watching it going, this is the worst outfit I've ever seen in my life. I cannot believe it. Oh, who's that in the background?
I'm glad I'm not her fashion design teacher at school.
I would just quit. So Betsy tells Becky that she's deleted the post, and she's like, it didn't even get many likes. I wonder why.
And only my friends could see it.
So that means
does that mean that Becky follows Costello?
No, Costello's like pretending to be a teenage girl on the internet, which I don't think is legal, is it?
Maybe that's going to be revealed one day, that Costello and Betsy are really busy mates.
No, they'll be like, Costello, I can't believe you set up this sting operation and you made a profile of a teenage girl just to lurk on Betsy. And he's like, yeah, that's why I made it. Right, so anyway. She's like, oh, I wish I had a normal life and I didn't have to hide the fact my mum's back alive again. And I'm off in a huff. So she goes off, and like Lisa and Becky are left like, oops.
I do kind of feel bad for Betsy in that position, but what are you going to do?
So that was Wednesday. So Friday.
If you've got a dead mum who's come back to life, sometimes you just have to suck it up and deal with the consequences. We all have it happen to us one point or another, don't we?
Yes, it happened a few times. So also, if you've got two mums, it's twice as likely to happen.
This is true. It's statistically it's like, an inevitability that this was going to happen to you, Betsy. Is. So, sorry. Don't post it on social media.
Friday, Betsy's still not come home, and Becky's like, she'll be fine, don't worry about it. But Lisa is worried. So they go out looking for her, and Brody's like, I hadn't seen her since last night. She was moaning. She was ranting about something. And then Kit comes over and goes, haven't you even heard? She's been arrested. And then we cut to the cells where little sad Betsy's like, I didn't do any of it.
This is the second time in a month or so that Betsy's evenings have been a bit of a mystery to us. Because there was that time when she went off with Dylan, do you remember?
Yes.
And it was revealed midway through the next episode. What was Betsy up to last night? Oh, she was off with Dylan. And now she's in the cells.
So Lisa's getting stressed and blaming Becky, and then she drops off to the station, and then we get an interview. Betsy's being interviewed by Costello, is it? Or somebody else?
No, it was another
somebody else.
It wasn't Jess.
Oh.
So she was obviously not available on that day. It was a
washing
man,
her hands of it.
Uniformed man.
Hello, it's me, Officer Man. You attacked Costello and damaged his squad car. And Betsy's like, no!
I'd as you had as well.
Lie.
We'd seen this picture of Betsy in prison.
You couldn't have avoided it
because it was the splash screen on ITVX. Had you kind of had any theorising about what was going to lead Betsy to be incarcerated, or?
No, I was like, I can't see how this is going to happen.
I'm kind of. Again, it's because it happens so much.
Maybe...
People end up in the cells. I'm not like, oh, I wonder what it could be. I'll just like, I'm sure they'll make up some reason to get her in there, and it kind of was. It was like, oh, okay, is that what's happened? Is it?
I wondered if it was something to do with like lying about her mum being dead or alive or whatever. Mm. But anyway, she's been accused. She says it's a lie, but she did admit to resisting arrest, but none of the other things. And then the officer says, we've seen your anti-police social media posts as well, and your bad fashion, so fashion police could be in a minute.
Yeah, that's your next interview.
You're under arrest for terrible outfits.
That could have been what it was,
and
wasn't
then the next room is
crimes against fashion. That would have been much more believable.
The next room is Roy there going, I've got nothing to do with it. I didn't sign off on any of these outfits. She stole that apron from me. I didn't give it to her. So Adam's like, just switched to no comment. So these rants are what Brody had alluded to, and obviously she's moaning about having to live a lie because both her mums were police or whatever. It's funny that we don't really get much of it. Maybe this is Corrie like reacting to our criticism, because normally they'll be like, you put the most vile, horrible things on the internet about police officers yesterday. I'm going to read it out to you. It says, I dislike the police. I cannot believe you would ever write anything so vile and hateful. Whereas we all know what you could write. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Lisa's at the station later trying to work out what has happened, but she's not having any luck. And Kit's like, look, I can't necessarily do anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Good old Kit.
Like nice, yeah.
Brings her a cup of coffee, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit later.
A solidarity moment.
But then we get some lurking in the ginnel, because Costello's like, do you know, I need a bit of a lurk. I need to go out and lurk. So he goes and lurks in the ginnel to meet up with Becky and says, look, but get Betsy under control. There's no coming back for us if it comes out that we faked your death.
Is this the only kind of bent thing that Costello's done? Is this his massive secret?
He's arrested Betsy.
Oh, yeah, apart from that.
Oh, God. Becky realises that Costello is the one who's behind the arrest. So he's obviously beaten up his own squad car. And he says...
Kit's done that.
Well, yeah, who hasn't? So he said...
Because remember when he brought...
Kit framed David.
David, yeah.
Yeah. So Costello says, you need to go away soon or else. I'd be so furious if I was Costello, honestly. You helped women out. You help her escape the country. And she comes back and goes online. And she's walking around everywhere. I don't even understand why they're lurking in a ginnel for. You might as well just have a cup of tea around the corner. It's what she does. Just go to the local Costa. They should go to a football match together and go on the Jumbotron together. Why not? Who would notice?
Was it really that illegal what Costello did?
Well, it clearly is not an official police.
But he did it to save her life.
I don't think that's true. I think we're learning there's more to this story. Because if this was a proper official operation that was all above board, they wouldn't. Protection malarkey. It wouldn't matter that she came back from the dead. She should get a medal.
I think it's...
You know what I mean?
Maybe it's more the case that they use this Tia Wardley in her body as part of their plan.
I wonder how much that happens.
Well, yeah.
Operation Mincemeat. So, at the station, Kit's been nice to Lisa and eventually manages to let Lisa in to see Betsy in the cell. She's not supposed to be there, but she gets, to stay a little bit. Well, no, don't think Kit lets her in, but she
kind of barges in and he's there on lookout.
He's like, I can't possibly stop
There's far
Lisa.
too many police wandering the corridors. We can't show them. No. Because that bloke who interviewed Betsy's gone home.
He's gone home.
They're definitely here, so you better clear off quickly, Lisa.
Betsy's like, I'm innocent, I swear. And Lisa says, don't worry, we'll prove that you're innocent. So they rush off, and then Lisa gets home and tells Becky that Betsy's okay. But I'm, Becky tells Lisa, I'm really sorry about all this. I hated being away from you. It's all my fault. And Lisa's like, shut up about, I don't want to hear from you anymore. Betsy's going to go to prison because of you. She starts crying, and then Becky's like, oh, hug, I'll give you a hug. Oh. She doesn't, I'll give her credit, she doesn't do an evil look.
She doesn't do an evil look.
Because she does look genuinely like, cuddle with my wife.
I don't think she's got, she's not the same as Theo at the moment. Of course she did the spoon dropping incident later, but she genuinely
this is an abuse
just wants her wife back, and she's thinking, I'm going to get her a hug, I want to get her back. And she wants to support her. She doesn't like seeing Lisa upset that her daughter's in the slammer.
Well, this changes her mind, doesn't it, about what her future plans are. So, Becky tells Lisa that the CCTV footage is going to show that Betsy's innocent. She's sure of it. And Lisa's like, I'm really scared. And both Becky and Betsy tell Lisa, you're going to spiral, you're spiralling. So she's like panicking and like catastrophizing. And so Becky says, look, I'll stick around with you tonight because you shouldn't be on your own. And Lisa just sobs and nods.
Do you think that was an understandable move from Lisa to allow Becky to stay there?
I couldn't be around somebody who'd done that to me and be comforted by somebody who sort of caused my sadness.
I think it's more understandable now than it would have been maybe 2-3 weeks ago, because although Becky's been a bit of a pain in the bum, always turning up and getting in the way, I think with Carla not being there at the moment, and Lisa has got this massive history with Becky, and I think the initial shock and being appalled at how dare you pretend you're dead and put us through all that, I think that's naturally kind of subsiding a bit as the weeks go on. And I think she just needs somebody, she's feeling vulnerable. And I don't think Lisa has got any intentions. She's not like thinking, maybe I will get back with her after all. I think she's just thinking maybe Becky's not as conniving as maybe I initially thought.
I think she's got no defences.
Yeah.
So she's not really in a fit state to make decisions, but don't think many people would say this was the right thing to do. So Becky goes back to lurk in the Ginnel with Costello, and she's like, look, I've decided I will go to Spain after all. Don't know why they're fixated on Spain. It's like Costello wants to go to Spain himself, and he's like, you have to go to Spain. Someone has to go to Spain. Live my dreams. I wish I could live in wherever you went. But I've got to stay here and look at children's Instagram posts. So he's like, I will go to Spain, but I want Lisa and Betsy to go with me. Or I'm going to tell everybody what you've done.
Is this
blackmailing him?
Yeah, that was good.
Brilliant.
But is this the moment when it's like, I am definitely a villain? Is this Lisa?
This is when she realises, I think this is when she realises there might be some hope for her to try to convince Lisa. Because Lisa didn't tell her to get bent or like refuse a hug or anything. They hugged and she's agreed to let her stay the night.
Yeah,
I think she's like, this could go the way I want now.
But again, I don't think it's particularly nefarious. Yes, it would be splitting up an engaged couple.
But Lisa and Betsy have no idea this is her plan. Do you not think it's a bit? I think it's a bit gross to like plan somebody to go on the run with you.
But it's not like she's plotting to kidnap them at this stage, is it?
Well, you don't know.
She's just trying to, cajole them round to her way of thinking.
I don't know.
Which, as I said, all's fair in love and war.
I don't know.
That's what I think.
Lisa is zooming Carla. And if you don't know what that means, it's internet video.
Why would you say that?
It just sounds weird. Lisa zooming Carla.
It was quite prevalent. What's the word? Prevalent during that thing called COVID. And if you don't know what that means,
I don't think you go, I'm just going to be zooming my dad. That sounds weird. She's having a Zoom call with Carla.
Yes.
And she tells her what's going on and says, "Don't come home. It's fine. Enjoy your John-iversary.
Enjoy your long stay in Ireland for no particular reason."
Becky's in the background, like pretending first of all, she's been up and had a shower. She's wearing a dressing gown.
Was it Carla's dressing gown? Was she doing a bit of a
Do you not think it's to me, a dressing gown is one step above pants and a bra?
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah, she was ready to slip it off if Lisa gave her the nod.
It's an incredibly personal piece of clothing because it's individual to a person. It's not the same as a towel. That's not weird. But I'd rather somebody borrow my socks than my dressing gown.
Yeah, for sure.
People are always wearing it so laissez-faire. So anyway, she snuck around and then she's in the background and she picks up this spoon and she holds it up like she's a cat about to knock a water glass off of the table, and she drops it on purpose to make Carla notice, but Lisa just passes it off as nothing. And Carla's like, "Look, make sure that Becky doesn't get involved in it," and she's like really slacking her off, and with the camera's focused on Becky's face as Carla and Lisa are talking about this, and she's just like looking quite inscrutable but calculating and determined. Yeah, like, she's not. You can't really read much of a reaction to what Carla's saying on that face.
In her eyes, Carla's is the enemy here, and listening to her slag her off is just making her think, well, I have made the right decision here, that I'm going to be taking Lisa away from this cow. I wonder whether, if she's going to be a villain, how far down the route is she going to go? Could she try to bump off Carla? Because she's
I think so.
Do you think that could be on the cards here? Or, she might not be kidnapping Lisa and Betsy away, but could she do this? Yeah, could she do that to Carla? I wonder. She's obviously up to her eyeballs with everything that's happened, so would a little bit of attempted murder, is that such a big deal for her? I think that's when she really has gone a bit too far and loopy.
Michael suddenly says, now you've crossed the line.
Everything so far is completely understandable. I'd do the same for you. I'd drop a spoon for you, darling.
Understandable. Understandable.
So
the call ends.
Good scene.
And Becky's like, "Oh, I see that Carla's not my biggest fan. Sounds like she's not convinced of Betsy's innocence like we are, though." Because Carla's like, "Are you sure she didn't do it?" And so she's like, she's undermining this relationship to Lisa, going, "Look, we'll get this sorted by the time Carla gets back. It'll all be over, trust me." So to me, what she's saying here is like, by the time Carla gets back, we'll all be gone.
Do you think that she wants her to move quickly?
Yeah, the way she goes, "It'll all be over, trust me." That is like a code, isn't it, to us? Like she's saying to us, like,
she's saying, "I hear round these parts, if you want to emigrate to Spain, maybe you can do it in less than a week.
You don't have to kill anybody either.
You can wake up one morning, and then by the end of the day, you can be in Tenerife. So,
and honestly,
anytime you want to pack your case downstairs, Lisa, I'm all up for it."
I can't think of a country more far away or opposite to Ireland than Spain. So let's go.
I don't think that she's going to try and get rid of her that quickly. I think she
will.
I don't know. I think that she realises that Lisa's not going to...
Do you want my prediction?
Yeah.
She's going to try. She's going to ask Lisa. Lisa's going to say no. Then Becky's going to abort whatever plan she had and then stick around even longer. And then Lisa won't be able to tell Carla what happened because it will involve a bunch of stuff that she shouldn't have done in the first place with Becky, and she doesn't want Carla to find out about it. So they'll have a secret together whereby Lisa can't tell Carla what's going on properly, and Carla doesn't really know how close she came to losing everybody, but then it'll all come out at Christmas.
I want Becky to find some real dirt on Carla.
Well, like the time she killed a woman.
Exactly, that's what I was just thinking, because that's been on Classic just recently. Old Asha falling down the stairs in the factory, really, and I know it was Paul and Liam who pulled most of the strings there, but Carla has been hiding this accidental death for 20 years now. And just imagine if Becky found, and I can't remember, I'm not a Carla expert, but there must be a few other skeletons in that closet that Becky would be able to uncover.
I think it would be very smart of Coronation Street to use the character's history that's being shown on Classic.
Yeah, use it against her.
They know when it's going to be on.
Yeah.
And they know that lots of people watch it.
So if you see something recently, it's going to be going to help you to engage more. But are you enjoying the story?
Yes, I am. Are you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm loving every time Becky comes on screen. And I'm sorry that, there's a big proportion of the fans out there that are like, no, boo, Becky, go home, Becky, we don't like you around here, Becky. But I'm just fascinated to see what she does next. And I love the chaos that she brings. And I don't think that Lisa would, go in for a snog or anything like that.
I'm sorry, but at some point, Becky's going to try and kiss her.
Becky's going to try and kiss her, but maybe she'll ply her with alcohol or some high-strength iron brew.
Oh, why? Why iron brew?
That's what Lisa likes, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, she does like that.
Yeah.
She get hopped up in it, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Although the sugar tax now is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, she's going to attempt. I mean, that scene at the end of today's episode when they were looking quite cosy with each other on the sofa, I think that was code for there's more to come there. But I think that Lisa honestly is loyal to Carla.
I know, but the thing is though.
But she might have an accidental kiss if she's feeling like really low and vulnerable and something's all gone wrong. There might be a little move or something, because it's a soap and this is what happens.
What happened to Tyrone this week?
What
happened to Tyrone this week?
Are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you done talking about it?
Yeah, I think so. Right, Tyrone this week. So yeah, this was a story that I wasn't really that into. I know that there's. That they had this big thing on the Corrie social media this week, didn't they? The guy who was I can't remember his name. Martin Hibbert, that's his name, who was one of the victims of the Manchester bomb back in 2017, and he ended up in a wheelchair with 22 shrapnel wounds after that. And he had this thing with him and his wife this week, having a little interview with Alan Halsall and Jenny McAlpine, talking about how his story has... I don't know. I can't remember whether it was influenced it or whether they just talked to these people to find out about what's life like if you're suddenly confined to a wheelchair unexpectedly and all the hardships that you face. But as inspiring as this guy's story was, because he's gone on to do these great things, he's like climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in the years since. It's not translating to me yet as this is a really interesting story. It feels like there's not much story there. It feels like isn't it hard for Tyrone and Fizz? Do you know? What's the plot here?
I find it interesting from the perspective of somebody who does all the work around the house. That, mind you, it wouldn't make any difference to me if you were.
If I was in a wheelchair, no.
You wouldn't have to do anything differently.
No, that's true. Maybe you'd put the bins out, but
I do that a lot anyway. I do that a lot anyway.
Okay.
Do you think you do it all the time, do you?
Sometimes I do it.
Okay.
I do it quite a lot.
Thank you for all the work you do.
It's funny because it's a bit like the Alahans. I would say that the Dobbs Stape household is one of my favourites. I would say the Alahans is one of my favourites, but both of these stories this week are just feeling a little bit too issuesy, and there's not, compared to the drama that we're getting with Todd and Theo and Becky and Lisa, it's really difficult. Not captivating enough.
It's really difficult.
Yeah, and then you got Tracy and Cassie at each other's throats, which
that's more interesting.
It is a bit, but I'm starting to feel a bit tired by that. It sometimes feels like let's go have a scene with them sniping at each other. I don't know. It's just not feeling particularly original anymore. And I like all these characters, but the situation they found themselves in is just not so exciting.
It's hard though, because this is obviously something that happens to people.
I know, because that's why I feel guilty about not finding it interesting. But if I want to learn about things like that, then
it's compassion.
Then I watch Tonight with Trevor McDonald, you know. What? What?
News at 10. Women have to do extra laundry.
Not the news. No, just these kind of.
What's he do then? What show would this be? I don't know about his career.
I don't know whether he even does that anymore. But
does he do that?
Yeah, let's say he does.
Well, look, I think also the thing that you guys know about us is that we wouldn't seek this out.
No.
It's not like we'd be watching... If Trevor McDonald launched a programme tomorrow called, like, the saddest things you've ever heard that have happened to real people...
And the inspiring stories of people that have
overcome them. And how they overcame it...
Yeah.
I would go, that sounds terrible. That sounds like the worst thing I could possibly spend my time doing. Yeah. I hate it. I don't even like stories about... I don't even like movies about things that really happened. Because I find them really boring. I just don't like it. It's weird. It's weird how invested I am in a soap because of how it teaches me about real people's experiences when I'm actually in real life really hate people in general and don't care about them.
You want,
that was a joke.
You want Coronation Street to just some... Not everything can be high octane drama, stunts, explosions, cliffhangers, infidelities. And you want some day-to-day stuff. But day-to-day stuff that feels like they're kind of trying to teach you things, it just comes across as a little bit fake to me. I don't know. But anyway...
It's not fake.
It's the drama on Monday is Tyrone is... Is this Monday when he falls out of his wheelchair, I think? He starts the episode doing some exercises with Cassie, but she gets tempted away by a few sexy text messages from Steve. And then you can see also Fizz in the factory talking about how run ragged she is, but she's all right because Carla has given her the week off. Carla's like, I don't care. I'm not here. I'm not here either. Factory can crash and burn.
Told Sarah about this.
I enjoyed Izzy's inclusion in this, and I'd kind of like to talk to Tyrone about it, a bit like that Maud and Jim scene back in the 90s. But Kirk's line about Izzy teaching Tyrone some tricks like how to do wheelies was quite funny, as Kirk moments go. So Fizz tells Tracy outside, because maybe there was nobody else around, that she's been run ragged by Tyrone. And so Tracy says, look, just stop being a sap, go and take a taxi into town and enjoy yourself a little bit. You've deserved a bit of a break. And yeah, it felt odd having those two having a conversation. Obviously, it was so that Tracy could use it against her later. But yeah, peculiar scene with those two together. So Tracy comes home to number one.
Tracy's the expert on self-care.
She finds Cassie lounging around on the sofa. Steve's been sent out to get some snacks. This is the episode that really, really, really needed Steve in, didn't it? For it to make narrative sense. Because Cassie's been saying, oh, I'm just going around Steve. Just going to have a bunk up with Steve. Yet Steve didn't appear. He was just always upstairs or out getting snacks.
He's up listening to his tapes.
And it made me wonder whether Steve was originally going to be in this episode and they had to hastily rewrite parts of it so that he couldn't feature because Simon Gregson was not available.
This is how useless Steve is, though. He doesn't even need to be in his own story.
Doesn't even turn up for his own scenes, yeah. So anyway, Tracy says, right, I don't like this. I'm going to do some noisy hoovering to put a dampener on the mood. Cassie gets home.
Cassie leaves because of this.
Yes, yeah.
To go back home
and finds Tyrone on the floor. He's had a bit of an accident. He's fallen out. He was trying to get his phone or something. I don't remember. But
it was
anyway,
to do with catheter or something, wasn't it?
Oh yes, I think there was. Yeah, there's a couple of toilet accidents this week in Coronation Street, wasn't there?
Was there?
Well, there was Bethany and her stoma bag today.
Oh, and Todd and his poos.
There was. This was a very lavatorial episode. Week of Coronation Street, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, we always make fun of them for not talking about the toilet, and now true. When they do, we moan.
Does this make Bethany the ultimate soap character? Because she really doesn't ever go to the toilet, or at least in the same way. Anyway, Cassie is obviously feeling somewhat guilty that she abandoned her son for a spot of nookie with Mr. McDonald. But when she tells Fizz about what happened later, Fizz is like, no, it's my fault. I shouldn't have left Tyrone alone. And Cassie says, well, yeah, Tyrone sprained his wrist. And Fizz is like, oh no, now Tyrone's gonna need to be pushed around everywhere.
Well, yeah, because he can't wheel himself. This is awful.
Yes,
it's already can't can't walk and now he can't
Yeah.
roll.
But ultimately, she does blame Cassie for sneaking off for some afternoon delight with Steve and tells her at the end of the episode to pack her stuff and clear off. So she turns up at number 1 again, does Cassie, and Tracy is not happy to hear that she's moving in for a bit. And it's all kind of, there's a bit rinse and repeat between those two, I feel. And I love Cassie. Well, no, I don't love her. I tolerate her an awful lot more than it feels like the vast majority of Coronation Street viewers do. But even this week, I was like, Cassie versus Tracy again. It's kind of like Carla versus Tracy back in the day, isn't it? Just with a different lick of paint on it. So Wednesday's episode, Cassie is obviously making herself very unwelcome at number 1, eating all the bread in the house. And they go to the pub, do they? No, the cafe. No, they're in the cafe when this happens. That's right. And Fizz and Tyrone come in, and they see Cassie and do a 180 because she's not in their good books at the moment. So Cassie learns from Sally, again, a bit of a chance encounter between two characters that really shouldn't have anything to do with each other. She talks to her and is very interested to hear that Fizz was given the rest of the week off to look after Tyrone. So actually she could have been there on Monday, but she wasn't. She was pampering herself in town. So she uses that as an excuse to go back to number 9 and say, ha, Fizz, it's your fault. You should have been with your husband. But Fizz is really upset by it, and Tyrone, good for him, defends his wife and says, no, you're right, she has been run ragged. She deserves to have a bit of time out to herself. What's your excuse? How dare you use this against her? Off you go, Cassie, on your way. And so she does. She goes back to number 1, where Tracy isn't very happy with it, but Ken defends his erstwhile poisoner and says, shut up, Tracy. Cassie's going nowhere. I've seen again lots of people online very fed up with the fact that Ken has completely forgiven Cassie for everything that she's done to him. I'm not bothered at all by that. No. Just like...
you got to move on, haven't you? I think the question is...
What's a bit of poison in between friends and carers?
People to just have grudges forever, because that's really dull.
Yeah, Ken's a forgiving sort. More Tracy and Cassie bickering in the morning of Friday's episode, and Cassie's just kind of enjoying winding her up a little bit. I think they need to... I think I want to see a little bit more to Cassie's character than this. I really do. Tracy... I feel bored talking about this. Nothing happened. Fizz wants to go to this concert, doesn't she? That's what we learn, right? And this comes back at the end of the episode. Tracy says, what happened? God, I don't remember.
Understand what happened with this. There were tickets and different events.
Tracy happens to know...
Were they already going to go to this band?
No. Tyrone's telling Fizz, you should go and see this band called what are they? The Drunken Wastrels. The Drunken Wastrels. And Fizz says, no, I won't go. It's fine. I don't want to leave you at home. But Tracy...
Is this Oasis?
Is that their other name? It should be. Maybe that was what it was alluding to.
Maybe they couldn't afford, the rights to say the word Oasis
on the street. Yeah, and so Tracy very handily happens to know one of the members of the Drunken Wastrel, so she gets cheap tickets and says to Cassie, "Look,
she gets free tickets."
Yeah, was it free? I can't remember. And she says, "Cassie, you give this to Fizz and Tyrone and say it was you, and maybe you'll be back in their good books and you'll be able to live there again." So Cassie tries this, and Fizz is like, "Sorry, I'm not having any of that. I'm not going there. I'm not going to be part of your feud with Tracy. Thank you very much. You can take these tickets back." And so it doesn't work. And Cassie declares that Tracy is going to have to put up with her for a little bit longer. God, there's really nothing of any substance to discuss here, is there? That's just what happened.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure this means this will mean different things to different people. I think.
Would I rather see the Fizz and Tyrone angle without the Cassie and Tracy bickering? It feels just like they're a bit too old to be acting like children.
I don't care about that. I find that more interesting than anything else.
I don't know. What else did we have? Speaking of the Dobbs household, well, this Forlorn Hope story kind of started off as Shona, didn't it, and her scan, but then it turned into something going on with Hope. So do you want to have a quick rundown of this one?
Yes, I do. So it starts on Wednesday, which is when Shona and Bethany are talking about the scan, and Audrey's excited. It was really nice to see Audrey again.
Yes, yeah, we got Audrey on Wednesday and Friday this week, didn't we?
And so David is like that. Shona and David are supposed to go to this scan together, but David phones Shona and says, "I'm sorry, I'm stuck in town in a lift because there's been a power cut." And so Shona's really furious and tells him that she's going to have to go by herself. And so Bethany decides to give her a pampering session instead. And David leaves her a message saying he's sorry, he wishes... He was really sweet, genuinely
it was a lovely message,
nice, going, "Oh, I can't wait to go through everything, even though we've already done it ourselves. I want to go through it with you, you know, this process of having a baby and all those moments that you have on the journey of the pregnancy."
Nice. They should have been in the Mr and Mrs contest. I think they'd have done quite well.
I think it would have been really funny if they'd gone in like pretending they didn't care or know about anything, and then they just ace every question.
Yeah.
So
if it's anything like the Big Fat Quiz, the Emmerdale versus Corrie quiz, Jack B. Shepherd.
Well, also Julia Goulding is no
expert
slouch.
No.
She's actually very, very good. So Shona's like phones him up because this is a voice message that he'd left. Phones him up and says, "I love you too. I didn't go to the scan." And then this is when he mentions that somebody keeps farting in the lift, and she says he's on his own, and he needs a wee as well. They laugh.
That warmed my cockles, that scene.
And then Shona gets back to talking to Bethany because she's pampering her and doing her nails and things, and says, "Why don't you go and work at the salon?" And Bethany's like, "But I'm a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist."
Go on then, as it's my gran.
Oh, I'll start tomorrow.
So all her ambitions have just been blown up to smithereens because she can't really be bothered anymore, and there's no opening at the factory. I think.
I know.
Yeah. Okay then, Bethany. Fine. You're working in the salon now. Why not?
So on Friday, Bethany's like, "Yeah," in like a really kind of patronising way, like, "Oh, I don't mind, you know, doing lowly people's peasant work for a week. Maybe I'll write an article about it." That's what I think she's thinking in her head. She didn't actually say this.
It just generally feels like she's given up on the whole journalist thing.
Good.
And
she's a fraud.
She doesn't need to be a journalist now she's working on the street. She was only a journalist before because it got her off the show, didn't it, when Lucy Fallon was having her babies?
Well, you know, London will never be the same.
Yeah, Fleet Street, there's a day of mourning, I'm sure.
Right, so I'm sorry, but she's so terrible. It's such I hope she's better at nails.
I think that she's found her niche now, hasn't she?
Isn't it depressing?
Yeah.
Honestly, Ken was a journalist on Corrie for a while. They could have her on the show doing it, but every time she just writes such utter drivel. Okay, right. Friday.
If only Ken could have embraced a career as a nail technician, it could have been like his secret
win.
Yeah.
On Friday, Bethany, she's like, "Yeah, I can do this." And Hope is, for some reason, doing work experience there.
Starting on a Friday. The day that all children start their work experience.
In October?
I don't know. You can do it whenever. But I do think that the Friday first day is unusual.
Well, you don't want to scare her, do you?
No.
With too much work all at once. So Fizz is like, "Don't go on your phone." So Audrey's like, "I know what I'll do. I'll put the work experience person with the person whose first day it is."
Yeah.
Why not? So
she's got a little nail bar set up around the back, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing these scenes because when we were at the set last week, I encountered, you didn't go there, did you? The salon. And I went round the back, and this was a set a bit like the factory that I didn't always have a good handle on where everything is. And so when I looked round the back, I saw Bethany's nail thing set up, and I was like, "Is that always there? I don't really know." But
yeah, we were talking about it, weren't we?
Yeah.
Because I said, Kylie used to have one.
Yeah.
I think they only used to have 2 rooms, and I think they put an extra room in.
It feels like that it's a bit of a TARDIS. It's a bit like the Rovers kitchen, isn't it? The salon.
Aren't they going to end up being inside streetcars if they keep going, or in Debbie's foyer?
Yeah.
So, there's this lady who, what are we going to call her? Mrs. Peddler, because she's peddling pills. She's there going, "Oh, I've got these great amazing pills, like whatever you want they do. What do you want? You want to be beautiful, they make you beautiful. You want to be thin, they make you thin. They make your hair nice, they make your nails nice, they make your skin nice."
It's like those keto dummies, isn't it? Gummies, I mean.
Dummies?
that Sue Cleaver definitely wasn't promoting on Instagram.
No, you're making it sound like she wasn't.
No, she wasn't. I know she wasn't.
This was one of those fake AI like adverts that they did.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, you should do this. And Bethany's there going, I don't think so. And Hope's like, what?
Is it like...
There's magic beans?
She called them supplements, didn't she? But you can get... What are those husks that you can buy from Holland and Barrett?
Fillion.
Yeah, and they fill you up, don't they?
Yeah, but that's not the same thing. It doesn't make you have a shiny coat and glossy fur.
No. So it's a load of baloney. If this was her double glammy MLM sounding fraud, but Hope, bless her, hasn't been taught about that kind of thing at school yet, and
don't take pills from women.
No.
So Bethany's like, it's a load of old crap, and Hope's like, oh, but I would really like a pill that made me beautiful and thin and whatever else she wants. And Bethany's like, literally, they don't do that, okay? And Hope says, oh, aren't you a bit hypocritical, saying you can't make anyone beautiful, but you're working in a salon. And she's like, no, hang on, it's not the same thing. I don't promise people what they can't have. I'll just literally paint their nails.
And I think it must have got brought up because Bethany is being wise here because she also fell for the promise of a better, thinner life when she went off to Turkey the other year.
She's like, look, it's not just tweakments, okay? you start off with a nip and a tuck, and the next thing you know, you've got a stoma bag.
Exactly.
So who knows what you could end up with here? Yeah,
I mean, you're only young, Hope, but there are a whole array of horrible illnesses and conditions that Corrie could give you.
Yeah, and you'll have to write around it for the rest of your life. They might just write you out.
They could. I think. Do you think that she's sort of completely left her pyromaniac phase behind? Because I could see that Hope getting just a burn scar, permanent.
You said this before.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan's already got one.
I know.
So the lady leaves and she goes for a bag.
Maybe if he leaves, that he can just peel it off and put it onto Hope and she can have it.
I bestow upon you
yeah.
this really annoying scar.
Yeah, and have this bandage for your arm for your skin graft.
Forever. As the lady leaves, she realises she hasn't got the supplements in her bag anymore. Because she was trying to, she's like, oh, have these for free and then we'll talk about how much they cost later.
I didn't kind of pick up on the fact that she was really trying to peddle them to Hope. It was more that Hope was jumping in and being interested.
She wasn't trying to sell them to Hope, but Hope was like, what's this?
Yeah.
So Hope, it's obvious that Hope's taking them, but Bethany's the only one who realises this. She denies it.
But by taking the pills, you don't mean... It's obvious that Hope's taken the pills because she's got such shiny hair now and she's...
Her tail is so high and bright.
Lovely wet nose.
Yeah. So she's like, no, I haven't. So Bethany lunges at her and then... is it Cassie's there?
Yeah, Cassie
pushes her off and then the stoma bag comes loose.
Which is what, we'd said that the stoma bag hadn't made much of an appearance since Bethany's return to the show. Has it been disappeared away? Not that it particularly went anywhere, did it? But
well, she's very embarrassed by this and upset, and Cassie's just
she's
apologetic.
She's very apologetic. She's mortified.
And so Audrey's like, oh, I'll give to this Mrs. Pedlar. I'll give you a free haircut and whatever. And the woman's like, oh, I'm going to review and give you a bad review. Blah, blah, blah. And eventually Hope admits she took the pills and stolen them. And the woman threatens to call the police about this. And Bethany says, oh yeah, call the police please, because I want them to find out that you've been in here trying to sell unlicensed supplements to a minor. And the woman's like, oh no, my evil plan. And she runs away.
Go, Bethany.
I'd say, can I have that voucher, please, for my free haircut before I go? Also, what happened to the pills? Who took them? Hope somebody took them off of Hope.
Yeah, that's a good point. I assume the lady got them back.
So Cassie, Hope and Bethany are in the stockroom later, and Hope is still really upset about her appearance. She's like, I don't look like anybody on Instagram. I don't look like the girls in year 10 who everyone fancies. And Bethany's like, it's what's inside. That you should, it really, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't take Bethany telling me that. Mm. Well, she's like, oh, this is my experience of chasing beauty and it doesn't ever work. But sorry, somebody beautiful telling me that it's okay if you're funny. I'd just be like, look, can you get somebody else to talk to me about this? Not you, because I can't take you seriously. You don't know what I'm talking about. I know that you probably have felt bad in your life, but you're beautiful.
I'd really like Sam to be in this story, and I'm wondering whether Hope's going to have any regrets that she dumped him. because...
Why? Because he likes girls with good personalities?
No, because she was saying that he was like a massive... I can't... Was she saying that he was a massive square and she doesn't need him anymore and she thinks she's too cool for him, but is she going to realise that actually she had a really decent guy in Sam?
I don't need a guy in this story. I'm glad that there were lots of women in this story.
Yeah. I think that Bella's been great in it so far.
It feels a bit similar to Asha's skin lightening story about the pressures of the beauty industry, but it's more to do with social media and filters. I tell you what, I don't know. I feel so bad for kids, especially girls, young girls, who have to look on social media and see filters and things. Even I, the other day, do you know what is funny? The other day, I can't even remember how I found it now. It was on Facebook or was it on YouTube? But at the moment, I'm sadly addicted to shorts and just scrolling through.
Are you?
And most of them are just cooking ones or like, this is what I had for lunch, kind of things. And there was somewhere there was this woman and she's going, guys, I used to be really ugly and old. And she's the same age as me. And I'm like, yes. Me too, tell me more about this. What happened then? And she's like, but look at me now. I look like 10 years younger. I'm like, you do look 10 years younger. How did that happen? And she's got a before and after picture. I'm like, indeed, you do look better now. She's like, look at this supplement. You can get this supplement. And she was like, oh, you don't have to get this one. It's just anyone like this. It's just you need this name. I forgot what the name was. She's like, this is great. You need to take this pill and just take it for a month and you'll see the difference. It's really good. It's free. Does your skin it's got this thing in it that you lose as you get older and your skin looks like this. And I've been taking it for how many, whatever. And then now I look like this. It's really great. You should try it. And I'm like, yeah, I should try. How much? Where can I get this from? Look at the comments. And they're like, she's got a filter on that. I was like, oh yeah, forgot that filters.
I thought this thing in the towel here was going to be because it was a short. She ran out of time to say what it was before the 60 seconds were up.
It's really hard to... It's really hard. It's so hard to not listen to people tell you that you look ugly and worthless.
Well, I thought it was really sad when she talked about I don't look like those year 10 girls at school that all the boys fancy.
What year is she in?
I don't think she's that old yet. But I think obviously if you haven't got a certain look at school,
yep.
You are going to be just insanely jealous and feel worthless and hope.
Well, you're not always.
Well, some people will be if that's particularly important to you.
This is why I'm really glad I went to an all-girls school, and I know it's not fashionable to say this, and I know that girls do so much better in single-sex education, and boys do not. Boys do better when they're around girls.
I did all right for myself, thank you very much.
On average, Michael, this is the statistics that they say. I find it very annoying to think that there are lots of girls who are going through stressful situations so that boys can get better results. I find that quite offensive, actually. Like, can we not fix whatever is wrong with the boys' education system that they... I do think... I'm sorry, but I think not separating people is better.
I think both of us are a little bit biased towards that, considering we both went to single-sex secondary schools.
I loved going to an all-girls school. I didn't need to be around guys. There was no pressure about dating. There was nothing to do with who fancies who or how do you look. I don't remember. I was really blissfully unaware of feeling pressured about how I looked until I got to be older, actually, because we had beautiful actresses and in magazines and stuff, and I remember looking at it, but nothing ever felt like completely unobtainable to me, even though I'm more like Hope than I am like any of the the super... I think the thing is, kids have puberty at different ages, and some children end up looking more adult than others, because I think that, like Hope, I had a baby face at school. And so I didn't feel like, I need to look like, Angelina Jolie or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think not being around boys was really, really beneficial for my self-confidence. But I don't know that, honestly, I think that maybe it wouldn't even come out now because you're constantly on social media and that is a pressure of its own. Yeah. What do you do about it? Ban filters, I say, number one. What do you need them for?
Who was it? Are they trying to do something about stopping teenagers having some sort of social media accounts until they're 16 or something. Now I can't remember what it was in the news.
I don't know how we can put the genie back in the bottle now.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think that any of that would work now.
I think you're almost crazy if you don't feel like Hope does. Because you're constantly being told by everybody, and I can't say that it's not true to a certain extent, that how you look is important if you're a woman, and also not just women but men too, but women definitely, girls have a bigger pressure.
Part of me watching this episode, I was thinking, oh, is this another issue storyline for us to sit through and have somebody looking miserable again? But it must be so prevalent. There must be so many little girls out there that are feeling exactly the same as Hope. It's just like, she's
not wrong to be sad about feeling bad about how she looks, and for everybody telling her you're beautiful. She's got these. She goes home and she looks on her messages, and she's getting these send PX messages.
Yeah, she's got one, hasn't she?
You're an ugly, stupid skank with no mates, and your mum didn't even like you, or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
So having this pressure and being told that you're ugly, I feel really. This is hot. You don't even need to be told this to feel like that, but to be told it as well. Who's doing it? It's an anonymous message. So somebody has gone on their social media. I said, do you know what a good idea would be? Do like Nintendo does. No messages to children.
Yeah.
Children can have social media, but you can't private message them.
You can't message even your friends on the Switch. So just no messages whatsoever.
No messages for children. No. I would be one of these. I probably would be one of these people who's like, oh, my child's not going to have social media, or it's not going to go on the internet. And then, like 5 minutes later, I've got a baby with an iPad jammed in its face, going, just watch it and shut up.
I'm feeling hopeful. If you'll pardon the pun.
I don't.
That there's a story with Hope coming up.
What do you think this is?
Yeah, no. Is it going to be a big storyline, or is it going to be a 2-episode wonder? I don't know.
I think it's a very good idea for them to veer into it being a specific targeted attack, because then at the end of it they can go, oh, whoever it is, they're naughty, and so Hope then. Because really, they can't tackle the problem. Like, how would Hope ever feel okay in a world that tells her this? It's not just this anonymous message.
Of course, this also is going on at the same time as all of Tyrone's dramas. So is she going to be feeling like, I can't confide in my parents about it because my dad's got his own issues? Or are they going to say, oh, I can't believe, like Fizz is saying, I've already got, I can't believe I didn't see it, but it's because I was run ragged, and then Tyrone feels guilty about that. And,
I wonder if also the person's going to start making fun of Tyrone on these messages.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because that would be, if I'm a bully, I'd be immediately, your dad's in a wheelchair and you're a skank.
Your mum's a ginger.
Yeah. Writes itself.
It does really, doesn't it? Anyway, so feeling possibly hopeful about that, but it was a nice surprise to get a Hope-related story. We'll see where it goes.
Where are we at now?
We've got a couple of storylines left. We got Abby and we got Asha. What was again? I can't remember really at all what's happened with Abby this week. I'm just gonna read it out as we go along, and hopefully it will come to me.
Remember that Debbie has been kicked out. Kevin's abandoned all his family apart from Jack, who's the only one he can trust.
They all knew about it.
Because Jack is really good at throwing things.
Yes, Debbie's hammering on the door of number 13 at the beginning of Monday's episode, isn't she? Yeah, Friday's episode was her calling through the letterbox, and it looks like she's just been camping out there over the weekend.
That's very apt. Debbie does nothing but camping about.
She's like, let me in, and eventually he does, and it doesn't keep her long, does he? He lays into her about keeping Abby and Carl's secret, and then tells her to do one, so she does. And he gets a call from Abby, and it's like, oh, is he going to answer her? But he does. He responds to her call and finds her, Abby, and Carl and Alfie in the cafe there. And Abby's like, well, thanks for offering to look after Alfie later. And he's like, I don't need you to thank me for looking after Alfie. I am his dad, after all. Alas, Imran.
I don't know. Is he?
What?
Has he adopted him?
No, I don't know actually.
Because if he doesn't have any legal...
I don't think... I'm imagining it seems like too much
imagine he hasn't,
for me, for Kevin.
But this could be a way that Abby might decide to hurt him.
Yeah.
I think it's so sad, poor Alfie.
I was reading a kid's book this afternoon, and there was a character in there called Imran as well that made me go, oh.
What did he do?
Not much. He was just the father of the main character.
Oh.
Yeah.
A good dad, or was he dead?
Yeah, he got driven into a war by his crazy wife. Anyway, Sally whisks Alfie away because things are getting a bit tense between everybody here. And then Kev storms out and looks himself in the window and goes and has a good cry on Roy's flat door because he's going through the mill as Kevin at the moment.
Is that Roy's flat door?
Yeah, that kind of maroony door.
I thought you went through the shop.
Well, that's what you used to. When they built the new set in
they
Media City, they added a door there. So it just popped into existence after 15 years.
So they keep going through the kit.
We do sometimes see people coming out of that door. I don't really know why.
I never noticed. Clearly.
Anyway, Debbie ends up in the bistro having a cheery old drink with Brian. Peculiar pairing there. And she's talking about her dementia and kind of making fun of it, really, and saying, it's not got me yet. But then it gets all very serious, and she says, sometimes I don't know if I'm losing my mind or my confidence.
Why, is somebody calling you an ugly skank?
Clearly.
I can't believe this. It's an epidemic.
So Abby leaves Carl to look after...
Sorry. What? Can you imagine, right back in the very beginning of Coronation Street in, the 60s?
Yeah.
I think it was in 1961. They had a poison pen letter story.
Yeah, that was 61.
Can you imagine if the poison pen letter was what was it? You're an ugly, stupid skank with no mates, and even your mum doesn't like you.
It was you, Ena Sharples, wasn't it?
Didn't it get printed in the paper as well, or something like that? And everybody read it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the editor of the Weatherfield Gazette going, "Yes, type that up, Miss Jones. Make sure it goes in the classifieds."
Alfie is left with Carl, who doesn't have a clue what to do with him. He's like, "Your son's all full of snot." And he's like, welcome to parenting, Carl.
This is bad news, Carl. You shouldn't have got yourself involved in this.
She's adamant that they need to find somewhere to live soon, because surely Debbie's hospitality can only stretch so far with them there.
I didn't tell you.
What?
They asked me at the community centre to help them.
Your community centre,
not on the show. They asked me, "Can you help with the pumpkin festival?"
Right.
So I was like, okay. And they said, I don't know what you could do, so I'll give you some ideas and you let me know what you think.
Yes.
And they said, one thing that you could do is we will have a table of children. You could help and sit with them and help them do their exercise.
I'd love to see you do that.
Absolutely not. I said, I know this is a pumpkin festival, it's not a Halloween festival.
Right.
You don't want the children to be scared, so don't ask me to do that, please.
Just
and they
imagine.
went, that's really
I'd
good
to see
she said, that's very good to know,
good
thank
to
you.
know, don't ask you to do anything with children of the community again.
Since I was a child, I have not spoken to a child.
We have Sally going to see Kevin, giving him a bit of a lecture about kicking off whenever he feels cranky. Well, that's just his MO, isn't it? Sally, deal with it. You need to pick yourself up, she says, and salvage something from this wreckage. At the end of the episode, Abby returns to the hotel and says, Carl, I had my interview earlier. Did we even say what? I suppose it was some mechanic somewhere, wasn't it? And I had an interview. It all was sounding good, so it looks like things are on the up for
Maybe
us.
She's got there's an opening at Chit Chat because of Bethany leaving.
Oh yeah, maybe it was. Carl's like, well done. Anyway, I've been speaking to Roy, and turns out that you and Alfie can stay on the Roy's flat if you like. And I was like, no, I want to be with you. And Carl says, no. I really think you should. I like my bachelor lifestyle.
He says, what does he say? He's like, oh, I think it's good for us to... I can't remember. He manages to convince her that he's not just trying to get away. Like, wouldn't it just super put you off of a man if you had a kid that he didn't like the kid?
Yes.
I would find that...
Why can't...
I don't like it if we have somebody who doesn't like our cat. Like, I remember you have a friend who was quite mean to our cat, and I've gone off him ever since.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine just being blasé about somebody not liking my kid.
She's just totally besotted with him. Yeah. And it just feels like worlds away from what Abby should be. The, like, bum-kicking, heroic, car exploding, good time. She's just sits there going, oh, I love you so much, Carl. Let's run away to Germany together. It feels a bit personality transplant-ish here.
Why don't they all go and live together in a big commune somewhere in Europe, in no specific country, and Becky and Lisa and Betsy and Carl and Abby and...
No, Carl can go. Abby can just stay and be like back to how she used to be.
Do you think Becky works at a donkey sanctuary in Spain?
For sure.
Because we know there is one there, don't we?
I can't remember whether we said this on the podcast or not, but somebody said to us that... Was there some feedback one week?
I don't know.
When people are saying that in Emmerdale they go off to a bar in Spain.
No.
And a character on Emmerdale went to Spain, opened a bar there, and so now whenever characters in Emmerdale need to do a quick emigration, they all just go and live in this
commune.
Yeah. And so
it's full of northerners.
Yeah, so not every clearly, but a whole load of ex-Emmerdale characters are canonically living together still.
Oh.
Away from Houghton.
Are they trying to do a spin-off?
Yeah, maybe that was the original plan. Anyway, so what was going on? Abby hasn't got the job. What's going on there then?
Because she thought it was a shoo-in. Yeah,
she thought she seemed like the best candidate. They all loved her. But apparently the reference didn't go so well. So she stomps off to smash Kevin's face in.
She doesn't get told this. The vibes are completely off. So she immediately assumes that they've contacted Kevin and he's given her a bad reference.
Yes, but apparently it was Jack who ended up doing it. We find out.
Maybe. I just love the way that they all go, oh, well. I'd be like, no, hang on a minute. Kevin, email the company and tell them this is so unprofessional. It's not just bad luck to me, is it?
Well, I'm going to start getting suspicious if what Jack really wrote in this message was that Abby is an ugly, stupid skank with no mates.
And her mum doesn't even like her.
I think we found our suspect for Hope's emails there.
Maybe it is him. It could be.
That would break Hope's heart even more because she's got a bit of a thing for old Jackie boy, hasn't she?
Oh no!
But anyway, no dice for Abby at this new place, and she ends up licking her wounds in the pub with Carl, and Tracy decides to.
Well, no, hang on. She's also upset because Jack's email says something like, "You can't trust her. You can't rely on her. She'll stab you in the back." And she's like, "I can't believe this is what Jack thinks of me." After I stabbed his dad in the back. Yeah,
sorry, Abby, you reap what you sow there. Tracy comes and tells her that she needs to take Kevin to the cleaners because it works, kind of working well-ish for her and Steve in her divorce. And she's like, no, I don't want any of that because I'm a good person. But Carl is like, what's that? Money could be coming my way. I've got financial issues. Remember that? That's how this all started. I think you should definitely take Kevin to the cleaners, and that will solve all my problems.
Oh, problems, I mean.
Are there people still threatening to come around and break Carl's legs?
Or I don't know. I think he's changed his number and they haven't worked it out.
Yeah, maybe.
That seems to have gone very quiet. It's
really gone quiet. Not that it's interesting in the slightest, but...
No, I know, but it doesn't feel like the threat... This is the problem. It doesn't feel like the threat is real if it just stops for like months on end for no apparent reason.
Yeah, until we go, remember Carl? He owes people money.
Remember Carl was on the run from German gangsters?
Yeah, so some parts of the story moving too fast, some a bit too slow. Asha this week, Gemma, I think it was just today's episode, wasn't it? Yeah. We saw this. She's out of hospital.
She comes out of hospital with Dev, and she's very zoned out and a bit spacey and sad, and he says...
she's just very hollow inside.
Yeah.
She's like a psyllium husk of a human being at the moment.
Yeah. No, they absorb everything and like sit in your stomach like jelly, so you don't really want to eat anything.
Just a different type of husk then.
It doesn't make you hollow, it makes you full.
Okay.
So, he's like, nobody knows about what happened. Nobody's judging you.
But
meanwhile, he's told everybody. And I don't think
many people know, but more than nobody, for sure.
Yeah, more than nobody knows.
Gemma knows. Kirk knows.
Yeah.
Or does Kirk... No, did Kirk know before Dev told him to Dad? I don't remember.
Dev, shut up, okay? Dev, shut up. So back at home, Dev's like, oh, you wanted to watch that series, didn't you? That series we won't talk about what the name of it is. Let's watch episode 1 of series 1 of this show that you really want to watch.
Yeah.
He's very specific about what flavour ice cream she
what it really is Celebrity Traitors, but they're not allowed to advertise that on ITV, are they?
Probably not. She'll love it. She should watch it. Cheer up. So she says, no, don't fuss over me. And then Gemma comes in, like, sorry, I've got to shut up the shop because Alad's been sick.
Yeah.
Just leave him for dead. You've got a job to do. But no, she's got to go to the school. So Asha tells Dev to go and take over the shop. She'll be fine on her own. But when he goes, she looks on her phone and sees that Ardy sent her a message, doesn't read it, and then she starts to have
he has a moment,
sound effects and tears.
God. And again, like, sorry, nothing. I was like watching Asha having a cry. I was like, move on. Seen it all before. I've had enough of this. Fatigue.
I don't know a really good way of portraying this.
The sound effects make it worse. Because every time they zoom in on someone and I'm like, what's that sound? And then they do it, it's like, oh, come on. And any kind of emotion that I might be having for the person that's going through their trauma on screen, I'm just thinking, why have they got these stupid sound effects? I don't need it.
Well, Dev is also down in the dumps, which is not the same as having depression. But he tells Bernie he's really worried that Ash is going to do it again. I couldn't leave her alone. It reminds me of what happened with Liam and Maria.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So she says, look, she's going to be okay. Go back home and look after her. So he goes back home and then he bumps into Gemma on the way and says, look, don't tell Asha I told you.
# no more secrets.
And then she's going to find out and then it's going to set her back.
Maybe this is another thing that's kind of bumming me out a bit about this story. It's the fact that Deb says, don't say it. So clearly Asha's going to find out and then she's going to...
Is it... Are you not finding it depressing at all?
It's super... Yeah, it's depressing.
But then do you not think it's doing a good job, though? If it's making you feel depressed to watch it?
It's serving its purpose, I suppose. I'm feeling depressed because it's a miserable story. I'm not feeling bad for Asha.
What does it do?
I feel kind of bad that Ardy's not there. And I think now's a good time to have done this story because she's clearly missing him. But I'm also thinking, well, I know he's not going to come back. We're not going to be able to see her doing a FaceTime call with Ardy.
No, I know. It's not going to be a...
And I think that this, having like one scene of her having a phone call with him and hearing his voice on the other end would be lovely. But I know we can't have that.
I know. I don't know.
So what I'd really like to happen, there's no point investing in the possibility of it happening. Where does the story end? Where does it get better?
That's what I mean.
What's the outcome? What's the satisfactory outcome?
This is what I mean.
Realising, life's not so bad.
I don't know.
I'm going to find a purpose. Or actually, I love being a paramedic.
I don't know. It's obviously important. They think it's an important story to tell.
Mm.
Like I said before, you can't escape the comparisons with previous stories.
Yeah.
So Bernie in the shop, she's left alone. She reads an article about Naomi, who is getting a prize for being a massive racist.
No,
the best racist in all of
massive.
Wenfield.
It's that she's got a prize for being the best careers advisor. It's all what's his face? Corey Brent getting that prison football prize all over again, isn't it? All the villains.
I think all the writers on Corrie missed out on prizes and stuff. Every year they get nominated. And so there must be quite a few people who saw they haven't got a prize for something or other, and they're all bitter.
They're kicking themselves that they didn't have Jeff being brought into the Magic Circle as part of his abuse storyline.
Well, he won all those DJ awards.
Yeah, of course. The Scaffolder of the Year for Theo.
Yeah. Why not? So, yeah, she's getting this award for being a career advisor. She hasn't advised anybody who lives on Coronation Street.
No.
Because she was about to, and then Bernie ruined it.
Yeah, she just think of what Bethany could be doing had she sat down for a meeting with Naomi.
Well, I think also, Naomi's probably got some great ideas for what Asha could do.
Mm. She just likes to drink sometimes.
Yeah, maybe this will be how the story ends. Naomi's like, sorry, I've got a great job for you, though, to make up for being a racist. So, at speed dial, Dev opens up to Kirk, I'll just tell you as well, why not?
Another odd encounter. I mean, I suppose it's not that bad a thing to have really characters who never interact.
This really feels like October. They're like, oh my god, we haven't given the guaranteed episode counts to Brian, Kirk, just shove them in a scene.
Even Gemma at the moment.
Steve can't be in it, sorry, he's had too many already. So, Kirk says, look, just keep trying. Sharing a garlic naan with her might be all she needs, and Dev's like, I don't know. She tried to kill herself, and he's but don't tell anybody.
I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, yeah. So Asha then, when she's being given her food, she doesn't have an appetite. She just wants to go and lay down. So she goes upstairs, and Bernie starts ranting about Naomi, going, "Oh, this is all her fault. she shouldn't have done it. This blah 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 blah. It makes me sick. She's getting an award, and Dev's like, "Can you shut up? This is not helping."
It's true. Bernie should not be making this about herself at the moment.
I know, but this is what I would be like fixating on something you can solve. Like Bernie thinks if she just, this is the key to unlocking everything, and if she could just get justice and fix something, do something proactive, then everything will be fine. But obviously, it won't be.
No.
That's just the thing. Like, there's no solving this.
No, exactly. I'm not here to offer any advice about here's what I do to help Asha out.
No, you can't do anything. What can you do? What can you do? What do you do? I don't know.
Support and love, but don't smother.
How? I don't know. This is a nightmare. I feel so bad for all of them. And Asha's, getting to the end of her tether with all of this because Dav's just being really clumsy and.
He's going to be shipping her off to India before you know it. That's the solution to his problems. That was kind of it. We had a little bit of the Tim and Sally story on Monday, didn't we? With him still insisting that everything is fine. It was in the past. I'm not having deep trauma by the fact that that I was seduced by this older woman when I was younger.
Wasn't seduced.
Leave it alone. But yeah, that was it. But I kind of wish that we had a bit more of that one. Because I really loved that story last week, and it was just kind of cast aside this week in favour of some not as good B stories.
As usual, this is difficult. Some of this has been quite difficult to talk about because it affects real people, and the judgments you make on a storyline and the characters in it shouldn't make anyone feel bad about themselves or hopefully upset anybody because of what we're saying about these things, because they're not about real people, but it invites discussion, doesn't it? I just don't know what I'm supposed to.
I think we've said all we need to say.
I know, but it makes me feel bad because I don't want anyone to listen and feel let down. That
I know. I feel like
being dismissive of people.
I was just going to say that I don't want to come across as being dismissive, but if a storyline's not capturing me for an entertainment purpose, then I may well. Give that impression. Because
the thing is, they can do engaging, but they can do engaging storylines about things like this that grip you and you find moving. But equally, just because we didn't find it gripping or moving doesn't mean that somebody else didn't. And sometimes you're in a different place in your life, and the story will hit you differently. Sometimes
you don't. You're in a mood to be moved, and sometimes you want to have fun and be entertained and. That's why, I enjoyed the Mr and Mrs contest. I missed Christina this week. I missed having much Debbie because there wasn't very much of it. It was just a little bit too much on the dark and serious side for me this week. But yeah, Wednesday's episode I much enjoyed it. And that was dark, so, I'm just contradicting myself again.
I'll tell you what, Hope needs an older lady to talk to her about her feelings of being unattractive.
I would like there to be some. Oh, go on.
Older women are used to feeling that way because that's how society treats us.
I want Hope to have a good old chat with her great granny Evelyn. What was that noise? If they, yeah.
No, I'd like her to. But the thing is, right? Nobody on the show, I'm sorry, is in a position to tell somebody about what it's like to not feel attractive because they're all beautiful.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think Evelyn could certainly, if they find out whoever it is that's sending these messages, if it is a character or just some random at school, I think Evelyn would be able to do a good job of bucking her ideas up and saying, look, you don't need to care about this. I think it would feel more genuine. I think with Cassie and Bethany saying to Hope, oh, you're beautiful inside and outside, I can totally get how Hope's feeling. You're only saying that because that's what you need to say. But I think that Evelyn, and there's partly, Evelyn, I think Hope would feel that it was more genuine because I think that when Evelyn wants to deliver a serious and heartfelt message, she's very good at sounding convincing and reassuring.
It's such a cliche though, you always get told this. Oh, it's about your personality. And
yeah, I know. But I think that she would be. I think that Evelyn could sell it to be real.
I don't know. I remember being told this all the time when I was little because I had a cousin who was beautiful, and everyone used to be like, "Don't worry, you're the smart one." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Well, Hope hasn't even got that going for a particular.
There's no way of this is like it's like Catch-22. There's no. It's like the Kobe Marash or whatever, that Star Trek thing is that you can't ever win. You can't win with this because you can't deny that being beautiful is incredibly important in society and it gets you everywhere.
I think that she maybe needs to go to like to Hope and to Lily and say, look, you got any of those recasting pills? Because I need a new head.
Yeah, well, the thing about
Let's hope not. I want Bella to stay in it.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. She's really good in this storyline.
I'm really looking forward to seeing her grow up.
The thing about it too is that when you get, like, even the women who are pretty, it doesn't last. You end up being an old lady if you're lucky. And then you have to deal with that. Yeah. I think I think there should be a pill that just turns us all into blokes, and then you guys have to deal with it, and then you see what you've brought on yourselves by being shallow. Right,
that's enough man bashing. Thank you very much. I think it's time for us to give a score to this week's Coronation.
We don't know who's sending this message. In my head, I can envisage like one of these nasty girl bullies that they invent for stories like this. So who was that one that was with the hair?
Lauren.
Was it Lauren? Wasn't there one called Grace as well?
Oh, Grace. She's been horrible as well, yeah.
It's one of them.
Well, I guess we'll find out. What are you giving this week's Coronation Street out of 5? Because I'm kind of thinking.
I liked the Becky and Lisa and Carla stuff. I liked the Theo and Todd stuff.
That there was what counterbalanced it wasn't that great for me.
Even the Abby stuff, it's because the Tyrone and Hope and Asha feels like issues, which is difficult because they're not engaging, but also they're all together in a week and they're all sad issues as well. Can we have a nice issue storyline? Is there ever a nice one? Oh, what do I do with all this money? I'm too beautiful. Everyone hates me. How can I cope with that?
Well, I suppose we had that a little bit with old Daisy, didn't we?
Oh, everyone's mean to me because I'm so beautiful.
Yeah. I'm going to give this week's, because I really did enjoy Wednesdays an awful lot, but it was sandwiched in between a couple of less thrilling escapades. I'm going to give this one 3.5 massive polyps out of 5.
Oh, you better get them out. 5. Yeah, I feel like I didn't really enjoy a lot of this, and I feel like I did a really bad job of talking about it and being mean about things.
Well, don't forget, you'll always have done a better job than me.
Well, nobody expects you, do they?
This is true.
Everybody expects me to be nice all the time, and I'm really not. I'm horrible. So this is challenging.
So you score
3 ugly, stupid skanks. With no mates, whose mums don't even like them.
Okay, carriage of the week this week.
Todd for standing up for himself.
Yeah, I was thinking possibly Todd.
You know, he did go back on it, but
it's fine. I think Todd for standing up for himself and showing Theo that he's still got a bit of bite in him, even if he laid down by the end of it.
Although I have to give a bit of kudos to Theo for just looking like a puppy dog in that pub scene. Like, it reminds me of when we watched EastEnders for like that very brief period of time, and I was like, oh, who's that guy? I liked him, he was great. And they were like, that guy's a serial killer. Anybody who tuned in to
Gray.
This, Gray. Anyone who tuned in for like a split second and saw him were like, oh, that guy seems so sweet and nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, he's got hair like a Disney prince. Doesn't he?
He does.
But when's it going to stop growing? It's going horizontal at the moment.
What is it that Audrey always offers at the salon? A puffy blow, or what is it called? Curly blow.
Yeah, coming up with puffy blow. That is something different. That was what that woman was peddling in a little pot.
Yeah, I would like to give a bit of a shout out, honourable mention to Becky, just especially for those scenes of the spoon at the end there.
There is no spoon.
Okay, anyway, so that is it for Street Talk this week.